And I am live. Okay. All right. Now we have an interesting topic here today that people should understand that the world is changing. Now, I'm going to try to be as politically correct as possible in this live stream. Google is 100% um, against my ability to talk to people. Google is totally aware of Michael Fazio, and I am totally aware of what Mr. Google is doing to Michael Fazio, even if it's only an algorithm in a computer. Because let me tell you something about how the internet works, for those of you who don't understand this to be true. But they are inventing artificial intelligence. Okay. It's gotten to the point where artificial intelligence may or may not have happened, but it's very close to happening. And the way that artificial intelligence was always supposed to be able to exist is to put enough information into a big enough computer, and eventually it would take on conscious thought, cognitive reasoning, and self determination. Okay. Well, the computers that are running Google now are doing just that. Now, I can't see the screen without my glasses, but I'm not reading from any notes. But this is what I have seen occurring in the last just 2 weeks. Originally, Google picks up words that are in your video and censors them. If there's a lot of cursing in the video and you're a conservative, your videos are censored more than if the same amount of cursing exists in a liberal vlog. Okay. So the computer has been programmed to pick up not only words, but ideologies that exist, and then make a determination about the mindset of the blogger himself, which is where we're going with Google censoring my channel. Okay. I'm going to tell you it's real, and I'm going to tell you something else that you may or may not understand. But years ago, and I made a video about this, about dating site with a girl named Mila. I mentioned Mila's name and her town, and that she was on Filipina Cupid in a document I was writing about dating site videos for a video I was making. I was on Filipina Cupid for several years. Mila was a girl I was communicating with, and she was a girl I had just spent the weekend with after her agreeing to meet me when I got off the plane, and that's why I went to Cebu, and her not showing up at the airport, her not phoning, her not sending me an email, and after I sent her money to buy a dress and shoes so she could meet me at the airport because she complained she didn't have money for a dress and shoes, and I sent her this money after communicating with her 2 or 3 times a week for 6 months. And I sent her the money the week before I was leaving to the Philippines. And she said she was going to meet me at the airport. And I got on the plane on January 10th of 2014. And I sent her a mail, I'm getting on the plane. And when I got off the plane in Cebu, she wasn't there. I hadn't used my computer from the time I got on the plane to the time I got off. There was no email and there was no message through Filipina Cupid. What Mila did was she took that money and she went to her cousin's wedding in Dumaguete, okay, which would have been fine if she told me that she was going to do that, but she didn't. So I was creating a Word document about scammers in Filipina Cupid, and I used Mila from Lapu-Lapu, Cebu. That's important. I said the word, if anybody ever sees this video and is a member of Filipina Cupid, you should understand that their so-called, quote, Christian dating site is the most corrupt dating site that I ever became part of. And every woman on that dating site proved over the next few years to be totally irresponsible and corrupt in one way or another, and including Mila from Lapu Lapu, Cebu. That was what I was stating in the document as notes or footnotes for a video. Now, I had been on that dating site for 3 years, and I never saw Mila's picture come up as a random screenshot. Like, would say there were 93,000 females in the Philippines online. First of all, 50% of them are not interested in meeting you. They may or may not be women. Most of them are probably gay, but they're just doing it to say hello to the foreigner and ask them for a quick buck. 500 pesos, which is $10 to an American. It's 2 days' pay for a hard laborer in the Philippines. But moving past that, I sent Mila 50 US dollars or 2,500 pesos. 2,000, about 2,500 pesos in that day's monies transfers. She didn't show up, so I'm making this document. I close out the document, and now this is after I had met Mila for the weekend. But in that document, I was also saying that I finally got to meet Mila, and she was not the girl that she appeared to be on the dating site. She was not anything like what she pretended to be on the dating site. Nothing. There was no comparison about what she said she would do, and what she did. Told me she loved swimming. We went into ankle deep water, which I have a video of that I never posted. She was afraid at the ankle deep depth of water on the beach. Right away, me and Mila were done. We had a nice weekend, semi-nice weekend, and that was it. It was over. But when I went back onto the dating site to look for another woman, because that one was gone. She didn't like water. I like swimming. Gone. The first, now you got to remember, the computer was on. The first of 93,000 plus available women in the Philippines was Mila from Lapu Lapu, Cebu. So even back in 2014, the computer picked up the word Mila, Lapu Lapu, and Cebu. But now it's so much more advanced. Now, if you're having a conversation, like I said, I wanted to buy pipe clamps to get ready to build the scaffolding, to get ready to build the columns in a few months. I was going to start researching pipe clamps on Amazon and on Lazada.com. And I turned on the computer. I opened up a video, the video manager of the computer, and I looked at one of my videos that didn't have anything to do with pipe clamps or hotel construction or anything. And the advertisement on the video that I was watching, which wasn't even my video, was for pipe clamps from Lazada.com. The computer technology is so far advanced, it listens to your words and picks out your key words, that what you're saying. Now, it used to be that if you wanted to tell somebody to go F off, you could do something like this, and the computer, instead of verbalizing it, you could use fingers or sign language. Well, the computer doesn't need to, and the computer didn't pick this up, but now it does. Okay? Now, if I put like sign language up, the computer interpolates the sign language for its best guess as to what it means, and then it will censor you to that degree. Unless you're a liberal, conservative, gay blogger in the Philippines. I mean, a liberal gay blogger in the Philippines, or a blogger that blogs about transvestites in the Philippines, or a blogger that walks around Manila interviewing street people and ladyboys and transvestites and gays and bisexuals. In that case, Google loves you. Okay, and that's what pretty much the topic of this live stream is going to be. If you're a real conservative white male, Google is not going to help you be successful in Google fashion, in the Google world. But if you're a if you're blogging about ladyboys and pushing their agenda in what they want the world to become, with ladyboys, transgenders, gays, bisexuals, prostitutes, child prostitution, any of those topics that you are showing, not necessarily saying this is a good thing, but just to show those things, your videos are going to go way up higher on the scale of views. Now, everybody knows that everybody's a different person, but if you're a man, what my definition of the word man is somebody that doesn't live, let's say there was a blogger in Manila, and let's say that blogger always interviews ladyboys, transvestites, prostitutes, and street people, okay? And then there's always somebody following that man around. And I use the word man loosely because he's never shown an actual woman in the last 6 years that he's been blogging. Yet he calls me Fagio or Flagio or Flabio. Okay? So I have always had a woman in the Philippines. I've had many intimate and non-intimate relationships with women in the Philippines. But the particular person that I'm talking about has never had a woman appear in his videos where they are a couple. You always hear about this imaginary woman. And once we even saw a face of this woman for about 1.2 seconds, but Daisy told me it wasn't a woman, it was a ladyboy or a gay. So, but if you are a gay man in the Philippines blogging about transvestites or prostitutes, your view counts are going to skyrocket. Me talking about tools, heavy equipment, living on my own, living on barges, living on tugboats, living on the ocean, living in multi-million-dollar houses in America, having race boats, having race cars. Me talking about that stuff, single white male, view counts down. Straight across the board, I'm going to be a loser in this battle. But if I was to say that I think I'm gonna change my lifestyle and become a gay blogger in the Philippines, my view counts would skyrocket. Now, but in order to become a gay blogger in the Philippines, those words hurt my lips. In order to become a gay blogger in the Philippines, you'd have to be a gay blogger in the Philippines, which would mean you live in your mother's house at the age of 50 something years old or 49 years old. You have no girlfriend. You've never had a girlfriend that you've portrayed, and you go around interviewing ladyboys and street people. And my friend, who is a lawyer, is very much upset with your blogs, by the way. And she even explained to me, it's a woman lawyer, she even explained to me something I knew nothing about. Okay, she explained to me that you are paying people to follow you around in Manila and or wherever you happen to be at the time. And that's where you get these people that are always following you around. Because I walk around, nobody ever follows me around. Nobody ever walks up to me and says, give me money. They look at me and they already made a determination that that guy's not going to give us money, not because of something I said, but because of the way I look at them. I just look at them like, leave me alone, and they leave me alone. I don't bother them. I don't ask them for money because they make more money than I do in the Philippines. I could be asking beggars on the street or prostitutes on the street to give me money because they make a lot more money than I make here because I don't make enough money to buy a donut and a cup of coffee in the Philippines. So if I became a gay blogger, my view counts would go up. But I don't want to be a gay blogger. I want to be a blogger that talks about tools and heavy equipment and living with a beautiful woman. I don't want to live in my mother's basement and pretend I have a girlfriend somewhere that is in 6 years never shown on YouTube. And even if you showed, or that person or those people showed a woman, do you think anybody is going to believe you after 6 years of never showing your girlfriend? And always having my girlfriend is, I have a girlfriend. I have a girlfriend. My girlfriend is, that's a lot of nonsense, dude. So I'm not jealous of you, because if I was jealous of you, I'd have to be a gay blogger in the Philippines or pretend to be a gay blogger in the Philippines. But you, with those, making up those fake names like Flabio, Flabbio, or Fagio, Faggio, or whatever the names, that I find hilarious. You calling me or insinuating that I'm gay, that's funny, because that's something. I had this rule. You couldn't tell your mother that you were going to do it, then don't do it. And that included anything. If you got in trouble and you had to leave on vacation, disappear for a year, 2 years, 3 years, you had to tell your mother and father why you were leaving, take care of your bills, take care of your dog, whatever. If I could tell my mother those things, I could tell my, that would, but I couldn't tell her other things, then I wouldn't want to be those other things. So maybe you live in your mother's house, maybe you don't live in your mother's house. You don't have anything to do with what I determine a man to be. A man owns equipment. A man has a girlfriend. Usually a man talks about man stuff, not ladyboys, gays, and bloggers. So YouTube algorithms, because they determined, the algorithms determined I'm a man, they cut my view counts down to next to nothing. The algorithms determined that you're a gay blogger in the Philippines. In my opinion, there you go. See, I made that. My opinion means nothing, by the way. You know what I'm saying? My opinion means nothing because I can't prove any of this. But the algorithms are showing you with the gays, the ladyboys, the lesbians, the bisexuals, the transvestites. You say, wow, this is the man, the ladyboy vlogger. He's great. He's doing a wonderful thing. He's changing the minds of people to accept being gay, being lesbian, being bisexual, being homosexual, being ladyboy, whatever it is. The algorithms has determined that you're a good for business, and that I, as a man with a beautiful woman, I'm a bad for business type of guy because I'm a white male conservative. And you know what? I'm going to live with that, because nobody has ever accused me of being gay, except on YouTube comments. The people, but you want to know something? There is nobody in this community in the Philippines that's ever going to walk up to me and say, Michael Fazio, you're a gay man. Nobody's ever going to do it. They might, now someone might be sarcastic and do it in a very, very public place. There ain't nobody ever going to do it in a private venue. Okay, nobody I know thinks like that. Nobody I've ever met in the malls. Everybody that meets me in the malls, they say hello. I know you from YouTube, and I have a few questions that I ask you to determine their mindset. And within 10 or 15 seconds, I know what's on their mind. I've never run across even one person with any animosity towards me that they have shown. And speaking about beautiful women, Daisy, okay, until I met Daisy, even I didn't have a girlfriend, still no one accused me of being gay. There are reasons for that go beyond the physical appearance of a person. If you're from the street, if you know the street, if you really know the street, I'm not talking about walking around Manila talking to ladyboys and gays and thinking you know the street. I'm talking about know the street in real life. People will look at you and say, other people that know the street will say, no, like the beggars at the market, they don't ask me for money. They don't even, well, one did, but that was, one pushed the issue to the point where now he understands to not to not push the issue anymore. Let's leave it at that. I didn't hit him, but I did make him aware that he was not to be grabbing Daisy May's arm in the jeepney going, give me money. No, that's not allowed. And it turns out the man speaks perfect English and Visaya and is not handicapped at all. So moving on past that, you people, some guy, I don't know, there was some guy. All right, so if you don't have a woman, that's okay. I'm not going to think that you're gay. But if you don't have a woman for 6 years and you talk about this fictitious woman, that leads me to believe that living in your mother's basement and videotaping ladyboys and gays and transvestites and bisexuals and all that other stuff that I would not go anywhere near, that leads me to believe that you are a little bit less of a man, in my opinion, than me. Because I own a man vice. I own tools. I own heavy equipment companies. I've dealt with thousands of people that were the king of their community, so to speak. And they listened when I talked. Why? Because they respected me. Plus, I had the added benefit or added bonus of them knowing that I know what my business is. And I know the quickest point between two destinations, or point A to point B. So people would doubt what I would say until they watched my talent at work in the construction industry or any other venue. And then they would say, yeah, he knows what he's talking about. He's a serious guy. Not a ladyboy blogger in Manila. Serious guy. And people can see that in your face. So that's why no one hassles me where I live. That's why everybody says good morning. Daisy, how many people say good morning to us when we walk down the block?
Many.
Pretty much everybody?
Yeah.
Unless they're busy doing something else. There are 75 people that will say good morning, and including children. Why? Because they watch me work, they respect my talent, they respect my abilities, and they respect that I respect Daisy May. To a large degree, they understand I have been with Daisy more than 2.5 years, and before that, I dated maybe 2 women before I met Daisy into the apartment that I met Daisy and brought her back to. And those 2 women had no complaints about my persona or my personality. Everybody on the block said hello to us at that time also. So that's the difference between a real man and a ladyboy venue in Manila. Now I'm going to read the comments. Daisy, say good morning, please.
Good morning.
And what did you learn this week? You learned about the tool. Do you remember the name of the tool that you learned about? The grinding tool. Do you remember? We changed the clutch in there and the Dremel tool. That's right. I taught Daisy how to rebuild the Dremel tool this week. And I taught Daisy how to rebuild hydraulic oil filters this week. Now, you might say that's not very feminine, but to me, that's my idea of the ideal woman. Although I am not the ideal man. Okay? Daisy and I have our differences, but we talk it out. Okay? That's what some people do. Sometimes it gets to the point where I have to go outside or Daisy has to go outside. Our life is not perfect here. But Daisy is a good woman all the way around. If you took the whole package, which I did, Daisy has the sweetest personality. She has a good heart. She's never been forceful about asking for anything. I say it in many videos. She's asked me for buy chicken, and she's asked me to buy some chocolate, and that's it. Okay, so as long as I keep Daisy in chicken and chocolate, so she's happy. Plus, we're building a hotel that will eventually be Daisy's hotel, because I'm not going to live forever. No one knows how long they're going to live. So, but that's not why Daisy is here. She could care less about the end run of owning a hotel. She can't even run the hotel yet. I'm teaching her business principles and practices. So, so this is the difference now. Now, I'm a man. I take the time to teach Daisy what she needs to learn to become successful in business. I don't talk about, you're never going to see me with ladyboys and gay people on my videos because I find it degrading. Okay. Not only do I find it degrading, looking at it from a humanity perspective, it might be acceptable, but I still find that degrading. But looking at it from a higher perspective of if the existence of right and wrong existed, I think that my way of life, avoiding ladyboys, gays, bisexuals, and transvestites in Manila, is a better lifestyle than walking around telling people, I have a girlfriend. Cannot. No, I cannot. I don't drink. I don't go into bars. Yeah, well, if you want to be a diversified and falsified and two-faced, some people might say, and go around calling me Fagio, Faggio, Flabio, Flabbio. You want to go around doing stuff like that? That's just fine. But just remember this. I don't care about things like that because it's not true. So to project me being gay is your projection, but me defining what is a proper lifestyle is my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. Now I'm going to read the comments, see what we got here. I'll start at the top. All right, yeah, Snapper Rocks. I read that. Snapper Rocks. Expat prep. Okay. What are the four forces of flight? Come on, dude. We're talking about ladyboys and bloggers in the Philippines. You have lift, thrust, lift and thrust. I forget. Okay, that's not what's on my mind. Lift, velocity, no. Attitude, pitch, roll, and yaw. Attitude, pitch, roll, and yaw. Okay, does that answer your question? What is this expat prepper nonsense? What are you prep? You're going to see if I have an A&P license? Tell you what, I got $10,000 that says I have an A&P license. Open up your wallet, come to Bahal, I'll prove it to you. Okay, so you want to question me onto my A&P license? If you had half a brain and you had any kind of contacts in law enforcement, you could see that I have an A&P license. Do you think I remember everything from the 1970s? Stop questioning me about the A&P license. I have one. I have pilot training. I don't remember all the terminology, but knock it off or I'll just block you. You're not doing anything for the live stream except you took my mind off my train of thought. So now you're challenging me. I'm challenging you, expat prepper. Get $10,000 together, put it in a package, come to Bahal, and I will prove to you I'm an A&P jet mechanic. Trolling my channel. One more trolling comment at the bottom of this, and you are ancient history. What's the word with B-boats only? I have no idea. I've never watched a video of B-boats only before I made the video, the live stream about him, and I never watched, well, I watched one after, the one where he got arrested. That was it. Rudy Gallus, conservatives need to develop their own social media. Yep, that's true, Rudy. Expat prepper. It's an intelligent question, but it doesn't have anything to do with today's live stream. What is my greatest professional achievement? I had the biggest and most successful and built the most grandiose decks and dock systems in all of Queens, in all of New York, and maybe all of the world. I owned cranes, barges, tugboats, pile driving units, welders, and I designed and made and created some of the greatest decks anybody has ever seen to date. Even 38 years later, after I stopped building decks, people still can't follow the workmanship and the quality of the lumber that I built decks with. What is this with these questions? What made me overcome obstacles? Because in my mind, I think I can do anything. It's a mental attitude. Why are you asking these questions, expat prepper? I'm going to go, you know what? I'll read the ones that are semi-intelligent, but if I went to your channel, what have you ever done for me that I have to answer all of these questions, or that you feel the need to ask me these questions? If I don't answer the questions, people will think I'm backing down from you. What have you done for me? Are you a member of my Patreon account? Have you ever pushed the like button on any of my videos? Am I one of your favorite channels? That was the last question I'm reading from you. Okay? They're intelligent questions, but they're challenging questions, and I can win the challenge. Get you to Bahal. Get your low boat here to Bahal, and I will answer your questions, but bring $10,000 to Bahal, and I'll prove to you that I'm an A&P mechanic. Okay? This is you challenging me, some name on a computer screen. You think I get riled up on a computer screen? This is part of a show. But you challenging me just gets me to the point where you're a troll at this point. Lefty all around. I'm about ready to block your worthless butt too. Who are you talking about, Fabio? You know exactly who I'm talking about. But you ain't got the balls to put the guy's name on the screen, Lefty all around. You have been a thorn in my side on these live streams, asking stupid question after stupid question after stupid question. Last week you asked me if I cared about you. I told you I don't give one flying bird dung about you, Lefty all around. And why? Because you have never done a damn thing for me. You don't have any videos on your channel helping my channel. I'm not one of your favorite channels. You have no information on your channel, and you come to my live streams and ask me challenging questions or stupid questions. Lefty all around, you're about as worthless as breasts on a bull. Okay? Now, I would like it if you unsubscribed and disappeared. Change your name, ask me stupid questions under another name. Because now we're off topic altogether. You know who I'm talking about, and so does everybody else, but you want me to put it on there so that would go against the rules. And you know that because you are a prophylactic full to the top, Lefty all around. A prophylactic full right to the brim. That's what you are. Catman, if you have to ask me a question, will women throw themselves at you if you come to the Philippines? Probably. If you're really nice, if you have a nice personality, nice persona, you'll meet more women. Will you meet good women? Hard to determine. Like the place where I used to exchange money when I first got to the Philippines, every woman in the money exchange place would throw themselves at you because you had American dollars. Were any of them good women? I don't know. I never dated them. But you can meet a good woman, but I would suggest you go to small restaurants, small eateries, Filipino eateries, where most of the 90% of the service or 95% of the service is Filipino customers. And find a lady that speaks a little bit of English and run up a conversation with them. The malls, you can go to the manager in the ladies' cosmetics department and say, I'm a single man. I'm moving to the Philippines. I have no girlfriend. I've had the manager come right straight up to me and ask me about, did I need a girlfriend, because she knew somebody in the other part, on the other aisle. So women are not going to throw themselves at you. But if you're a nice guy and you got a nice personality, you got something going for you besides money, is that even though they're interested in money, there has to be something besides that. You can find yourself a girlfriend. Okay. Expat Prepper just got blocked. I'm doing my work. Trolls. I swear to God. The trolls on YouTube are amazing. Okay, let's go to work here. Watch me make Catman disappear. Gone. Hide user on this channel. Bye-bye. Expat Trepper. Gone. Not interested in reading this disgusting crap that you're posting. Bye, Expat Prepper. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Well, there's really not much here, huh? You guys are just trolling here. What is the purpose in your life to troll my channel? I give you solid, good, stand-up information about what the Google algorithms are doing and why, and you come here and ask me if I'm gay. What is, that's the, I dare you. I'm telling you, I want you to come to Bahal and say that to my face. That's what I'm telling you. And I'll give you your answer. All right, we don't have much here. Ah, my friend, finally a friendly face. A Brit in the Philippines. Look at that message just go. Where did a Brit in the Philippines message just go? Hello, Chris. I lost your message. I saw one here. Yeah, Blue Rose. You've been with me for years. I don't care whether I know you lefty all around. I just blocked you. Watch this. Because you are trolling my channel, and I don't accept trolls on my channel. Go start another channel, lefty all around, and go start trolling under a different name. You've just been banned for good. Done. Okay? Don't come to my channel and troll my channel with these left-handed compliments and stupid questions. Don't appreciate it at all. You want to ask me an intelligent question? Fine. But you did something on the last live stream that I don't even remember that I don't like, but I remember I don't like it. You are history. Okay? Simple as that. Now I've banned just about everybody on the channel. Things should get smooth from here. I just got rid of my fans. I didn't get rid of any. Not one of those people that I just blocked has ever done a single thing for my channel. To give me a view on a live stream is not helping my channel. If they did any of them ever mention me in a video that they have created? No, because none of them make videos. And if they do, they have a lousy 6 or 12 subscribers because they have nothing to say. So what did I eliminate? I eliminated 3 trolls that took up 15 minutes of this live stream. I eliminated nothing that benefits me. If it doesn't benefit me, then what purpose does it serve me in my life? None of those people benefited you or me other than the fact guys asking me if I want to learn how to be gay by taking it in the labut, what's in the film. I need to hear that. Do you know that there are consequences for saying stuff like that in real life? I don't know what happened to the Brit and the Philippines. Okay, now 88 Mark 86. That's right. Some channels drop the F-bomb in every video. Depends on here's what Google algorithms depend on. Going back to the original topic, okay? A Google algorithm, artificial intelligence, will watch which videos you watch. So let's just say you only watch Fox News, which is a conservative, which is all nonsense because they're all in on it together, but it's a conservative news station. So the only videos you watch are Fox News and Rush Limbaugh and Michael Savage. Okay? Well, Google algorithms knows that. So now, when you put out a video, you are deemed a conservative. Your views go down. For instance, I have 20,000 subscribers between Google and YouTube. Well, they've taken all my subscriber base away from me by not giving them a notice that I'm posting a video. I have 20,000 subscribers and I post a video even about the Philippines and I max out at 500 views. That's not fair because I put out good, solid information about the Philippines. White sand beaches. I go into people's houses and talk to them, go to a real pig roast at somebody's house and have a barbecue with the Filipinos, and I interview the people. I get 500 views. You got some half-man ladyboy stalker in Manila gets 12,000 views in a few days on a ladyboy video. You got another guy, another sissy on YouTube that says outright that he's not opposed to tuning somebody up, but he makes a joke out of it. But it's really a joke. He gets thousands of views on some stupid video. See, they know, and those people, some of those people, one of those people, were associated with people that have been being prosecuted for illegal activities. Those people, because of the types of illegal activities, their views increase because they're associated with what we call perverted mindsets or perverted lifestyles. Those view counts go up. Real men like myself, and I am a real man in every sense of the word. If you doubt that, come to Bahal and ask me if I want to learn to take it in the low boot. Okay? You just do that. Okay? I'll show you things about the I will show you things. I will explain things to you. I will make you understand that that was a mistake. Okay? I promise you. I'm telling you, I promise you, I will make you understand it would be a mistake to come and say something like that to me. Because it's not true. Not because I'm offended by it, but if you want to be stupid, I don't really care how stupid you are. That doesn't offend me at all. But what if you want to be stupid? We could be stupid together. There's a beach in back of the house. We can go play stupid on the beach. You say something stupid, I say something stupid. Bring your camera. It's going to be an interesting conversation. Mike Diff, I just hit the like button. That's very nice, Mike. Thank you. I do these live streams because I like to do them. I appreciate you hitting the like button, though. But a lot of people hit the like button, and they even, like, I get about 830 shares a month. I get how many? 90,000 views a month. I get 800 shares a month. Okay. But the people that share it with their subscriber base. They may only have 6 subscribers. So I need somebody, if they're going to assist me on my channel, to push the like button that has 20,000 subscribers. But most of those people, they don't dislike me. They don't dislike me. They even think that I'm a little bit eccentric. They might even think I'm a little odd. But that's the maximum they will go, okay? Because they know that inside my heart, I am a serious guy about what I do in life and how I accomplish what I do in life. So I'm not here gallivanting around the Philippines looking for underage children. I never went out with an underage child here in the Philippines. They know that. The people on my block made a man move last year because of his ladyboy and gay lifestyle. And he didn't have anything to do with the people on the block. But everybody on the block made him 100% aware they don't appreciate that mindset here. And he moved. Where did he move to? He moved closer than we are even now to Alona Beach. So he could be where there are people like him, gays, ladyboys, bisexuals. That's what he liked, and that's fine. And he asked me if I wanted to participate in the activities. I said, what are you talking about, you sick, demented piece of garbage? What are you talking about? Well, he was high on some sort of artificial intelligence, let's say. And that was a mistake. But right around the same time, the lady next door is almost 70, 76 years old, spit at him when he went by. And kind of after that, things went downhill for that boy, and he left. So there are lifestyles in the Philippines that you can follow, but follow them someplace else. Blue Rose. Now, okay, let's just let's go over Blue Rose's comment, because up until there, it's true, they give trannies and homosexuals a boost in followers and views. And the sad thing is there are plenty of gays and trannies to watch it. Now, another Blue Rose, that's correct. And Blue Rose agrees with me, okay? Blue Rose has been a subscriber for at least 6, maybe 7 years. I think even Blue Rose was with me on my previous channel. Not only do, when you interview a ladyboy, a gay, or a transvestite, but now you can put that crap in the tags, like gay men in Manila, ladyboy dating in Manila, bisexual dating in Manila, men meet other men in Manila. You can put that stuff in the tags. And that's a whole culture of sick, demented people. And I say sick, demented people because they actually come from another part of the world, get on a plane so they could meet a gay man or a lady boy or a transvestite in a foreign country where no one knows them. That's sick and demented. That's the sick and demented part. Because if they weren't sick and demented, they would stay in their own city, in their own country. That type of lifestyle exists everywhere. But they are even embarrassed to admit that they're gay, transgender, bisexual, have tendencies to like ladyboys. That's the sick part. They're doing things that they know that are not acceptable. Now, if they just said to their mother and father and their sister and their brother, I'm going to be a transvestite, then, and they followed that lifestyle, that would be normal to me, to follow your true path in life. But they are coming from another country to exploit poor, underage, underprivileged, undereducated people that don't even have food on the table that will pretty much do anything for $10. That's a sick and demented aspect of reality that I don't appreciate. Okay, I don't appreciate people pushing that ideology. I don't appreciate people projecting that type of ideology, and I don't appreciate people going around interviewing people with that type of ideology because it attracts flies, let's say. Like attracts like. You're not going to tell me you walk around Manila every night at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and that you don't drink and you don't participate in the activities just for views. You are not walking around the streets of Manila risking your life and limb because anywhere in the street at night in any big city is dangerous. You're not telling me you're doing that simply for views. I'm not going to believe it. You are doing it because whether or not you participate in the activities, people that do this get their jollies off on the activities themselves. Oh no, I can't go in there. That's a strip bar. Yeah. What are you doing standing in front of a strip joint at 3 o'clock in the morning? Yeah. Two-faced, hypocrite. Britt in the Philippines. Hey, Chris, I don't know if you're still here. I just found this comment again. No, expat prepper, I don't have a sense of humor. When it comes to you asking me if I want to shove something into my low boot, no, I don't have a sense of humor at all. Okay? How about you ask your mother that question? How about you ask your mother that question? How about you ask your father that question? And then tell me what kind of a sense of humor your mother has, expat prepper. You ask me if I want to shove something into my low boot, or the other guy asks me and you giggle. Ask your mother the question and then make a video of you asking your mother the same questions you asked me, and then make the video of your mother's reaction to what you asked me and see what kind of a sense of humor she has, and grow a pair of boys and then post that on YouTube and tell me what kind of a sense of humor your mother has, because I ain't the kind of guy that you want to play with on the street, expat prepper. I don't appreciate it one bit. It's not a question of having a sense of humor. You crossed the line. So I suggest you go cross the line with your mother. A Brit in the Philippines. Now, see, now, Chris. I like Chris. Okay. Now, in what I define as an honest human being, a lot of the qualities that a Brit in the Philippines has. Okay. He's all right. I've watched Chris since day one. Chris is such a good person in so many ways. I would like to give him a little bit of my my mindset to to stop him in the beginning, to stop him from being trotted over. Okay? He's a giver. He's not a taker. He's a lover. He's not a hater. Okay? Those are qualities that I respect in a person. And I don't necessarily choose those to be on the highest levels of my I don't identify with those qualities to the highest level. I'm a go-getter. You can't be a giver. You could be a giver and a go-getter, but Chris took giving to the next level. And Chris was beneficial. Chris was benevolent to several people on YouTube that totally crapped all over my friend Chris. Okay, so Chris is a great guy, and he has never, well, he has never portrayed any of the negative connotations that I talk about the ladyboy bloggers in Manila. Okay, Chris is a man in the sense he likes women. He appreciates women. He respects women, sometimes too much in the past. But now that he's got a good woman, Mel, he's a good man. He looks like to be the perfect father, loves his children, loves his new coming child. Chris is a good man. And yet a lot of people would troll him too. Now, I would not let you troll Chris on my channel, so don't say anything bad about Chris on my channel. Okay? So, Chris, thanks for stopping by. I do give a lot of good information out. Thank you for pointing that out. Whether it's about how to operate heavy equipment, let's talk about heavy equipment and real men. What other vlogger on YouTube, including you, expat prepper, and you lefty all around, what other vlogger on YouTube can operate and repair heavy equipment? What other vlogger on YouTube has owned land cranes, ocean-going barges with cranes and pile-driving rigs, tugboats, dock building companies, deck building companies, septic tank building companies, demolition construction building companies? What other vlogger on YouTube has done what I have done? And then you sit there and ask me if I want to stick things in up my rectum? What is wrong with you, you sick, twisted little piece of garbage? Jeff Spicoli. Thank you, Jeff. I don't, he said I don't BS anybody. I don't BS anybody because that's not how I got to where I am in today's world. If I was the ladyboy blogger in Manila, I would still be working for a construction company sweeping floors in America. But I don't take anybody's garbage or gruff. I go around it, left or right, or I move over it. But I don't take it. Okay? I never took it. I'll probably never going to take it. Okay? You're not going to come on my channel that I created with 20,000 subscribers and sit here and ask me if I want to stick things in my rectum and think that it's funny. I'm telling you again, expat prepper, go get your video camera and get your mother and sit her down at the kitchen table and ask her if she wants to stick things up her rectum. And then when you make the video, post it to your channel, whatever channel it is that you have, and I'll post it to my channel with your mother's response. That's where my sense of humor starts and stops. Jeff Spicoli, my videos are on point. And all my topics, I try to remain as honest and open and as fair-minded as I can. Okay? When I say on point, you just, if you wanted to watch a video that's on point, how to rebuild an antique hydraulic cartridge paper filter for a hydraulic system that's no longer available, I give you how to do it. I give you the tools how to do it. I show you how to do it, and then I do it on video. That's what it means to be on point. Don't just say I took this piece of paper out and I put this piece of paper in. Well, to take the cartridge out of one filter and put it in the other filter took 12 hours. take one piece of cartridge, not much bigger than this tool here, to take a cartridge not much bigger than this, with a paper wrapped around the cartridge, a 5/8 inch cartridge, a half-inch cartridge around this, to a and change it to a 3/4 inch piece of paper. It took 12 hours. So being on point is something I do. How to operate cranes? I got videos how to operate live wire, live boom cranes. Let's see the ladyboy ladyboy blogger in Manila operate a live wire, live boom crane on a rolling sea at night with floodlights, pile driving. Let's see the ladyboy blogger in Manila operate a backhoe between two buildings with where you have to scratch along the foundations and crab in and out, left and right. Let's see the ladyboy blogger in Manila operate a track hoe. Let's see the ladyboy blogger in Manila do some welding. Let's see the ladyboy blogger in Manila do anything manly, anything at all, even just one thing. Because the ladyboy blogger in Manila lives in his mother's basement, according to some, and doesn't do anything except for views. And then his job description is even more tendency to be on the light and the loafers type of a job than any job that I ever took. I never had such a light and the loafers type of job. Thank you, Jeff Spicoli. Thank you. Jimmy, I'm interested in your out of the box thoughts and concepts. Thank you, Jim. Yeah, well, my out of the box thoughts and concepts, if you read my book, Angels on the Ark, you would see that in 2007, I was writing about Obama. When I was writing my book between 2005 and 2010, the published date, April 15th, 1,990 pages. I have hundreds of pages of what Obama was going to do to America. Everything I said in the book happened. Everything, including a nuclear disaster that would be caused on Obama's watch. I wrote it down in the book. It happened. Fukushima, baby. Everything I said that Obama would do to America happened on his watch. And I was writing in the year 2007, 8, 9, and the beginning of 2010 about Obama, and everything about nuclear catastrophes, and that Obama would be responsible for 2 nuclear catastrophes in the book. Everything happened. The fact that I wrote the pedophile poop, P-O-O-P, 237 times in the book, aka Angels on the Ark, those facts. I said that Pope Ratzenberger was gay in 2007 when I wrote that portion of the book. I couldn't prove that Ratzenberger was gay, but when he retired as the first Pope to ever retire, I think in several hundred years, he moved in with his gay butler from the Vatican. And now he and the gay butler are gay lovers. Okay? I was right, even though I couldn't prove it. My thoughts were what is called prescient. So they're not necessarily thoughts and concepts. Perhaps they are psychic glimpses into the future, because I have there's nothing in my book, aka Angels on the Ark by Michael Fazio. You can see the link to go review the book under the eagle on my homepage. There is nothing in my book that hasn't come true. Nothing. There is nothing in my book that any person on earth can prove wrong. It's written as nonfiction, not science fiction, nonfiction, and I have 10,000, 20,000, and $50,000 challenges for the last 8 years, and nobody has ever challenged me. Why? Because they can't. Okay? Because everything I have ever said in the book is true or has turned out to be true, even though I couldn't prove it to be true at the time. My thoughts are a lot more than concepts. My thoughts are glimpses into the future. You want to say that I have some form of psychic ability? That would be closer to the truth. Thank you very much, Jimmy. Expat Prepper has taken over a new leaf in life. He's going to stop that nonsense now. Thank you. Don't start again though. I unblocked you because I kind of remember that you were a good guy. So don't go back into that trolling garbage, because that's not what my channel is about. He says, I like the video so much when you save your friend's life. I have saved more than just that man's life, but I didn't have a video camera at the time. And the price that I've saved many people's lives. I was never in the military and I was never a police officer, but I have saved people from fates worse than death in some cases. But thanks. The man had diabetes and went into a diabetic coma that Expat Prepper is talking about. And he passed out. He was in the phase of passing out. I went up. All I did was basically go upstairs, call 911. The emergency service was only 2,000 feet from my house. They came within minutes. In the meantime, I kept the man awake and as cognitive as I could, and they gave him some glucose and intravenously, and they brought him back, and he's doing well now, even today. But he does have serious diabetes. But thanks for remembering that. Let's try to stay on track with who's who and what's what here. Thank you. I think all these trolls are actually that flathead Mike dude, Mitch Dith. You know, I don't know who they are. You know, I could start a trolling channel too, but I couldn't devote that much time in my life to go and switching over to another channel and then writing a comment and then coming back on my channel and looking at it. That's a mental problem. To me, that's a mental issue. To me, you should be deprived of things that are necessary for the human genome to survive. When you have a mentality where you have several channels and you go troll somebody else's channel, there is something mentally wrong with you. Not just a mindset, but a mentally, I don't know, a psychosis inside your head, like the hemorrhoid. Okay? The hemorrhoid has dozens of channels. Could be that Expat Prepper is one of hemorrhoid's channels. I don't know. Why? Because he doesn't show his face. Okay, I know what the hemorrhoid looks like, but I don't know what Expat Prepper looks like. So it could be the hemorrhoid who's been blocked in every other venue of my thing. See, that's why I don't care about trolls, because I don't know who they are and I don't really care. If you're going to come and troll my channel, there's something wrong with you. I have never done anything to anybody to deserve to be trolled. Okay? Some clown in the previous live stream an hour and a half ago said something about another channel ruling the construction industry. Well, guy's a chump. The guy who wrote the comment is a chump. The guy who wrote the comment is a chump. The guy who wrote the comment is a chump. Nobody in the entire Philippines expat community has the various skill sets that I do. I would wager any amount of money that nobody has the full sphere of skill sets I have. If you do, if you think you do, you need to be able to do the following. You need to be able to operate live wire, live boom cranes. I can't weld my welding looks like chicken doo-doo, okay? Chicken crap, what they call chicken scratch. But I get my stuff stuck together. You need to be able to operate a bobcat. And you need to operate a backhoe and well. You need to operate a track hoe and well. You need to be able to take any engine apart, any diesel engine, any two-cylinder, any four-cycle engine apart, down to the needle bearings, and put it together. And you need to be able to do it with the tools that are available to you right now, today. Okay. You also need to be able to operate an ocean racer at high speed in high ocean waves. Now, I don't have a lot of videos of my ocean racer, but I did have an ocean racer, and you don't buy an ocean racer unless you know how to use an ocean racer. Although in the beginning, I did not know how to use it. But unless you had an ocean racer, that's another skill set that you can't match. Unless you had a car that went 350 kilometers an hour out of the factory, that's another skill set you can't match. I didn't do video of that, but I did have the car and I did do that. Okay, so you people want to match mental capacities and skill sets with me. There's nobody, no Philippines blogger ever ever blog to can match my set of skill sets. Okay, plus 95% of them couldn't come close to my personality when it comes to meeting and greeting people in the Philippines. I can sit on a bus or jeepney and I can have 15 people laughing in 30 seconds. You can't do that, and neither can any other blogger in the Philippines. So you people want to come and challenge my skill sets, understand this, you're going to lose in advance. Let's see if we have any more trolling comments. Expat Prepper. Okay, that's it. You said a nice comment. You played the game. I said something nice about you. Here's for you, you little piece of garbage. Saying I live in a shipping container. Okay, let's see how many more comments he has, and then we'll see how many disappear. I'm a drunk. Yeah, okay. Your mother needs to hear you ask her if you can shove things into her rectum. That's you asked me if you want to shove things in my rectum, or do I like shoving things in my rectum? You need to ask your mother that question. Yeah, that to share the music. That Dutch bag, expat prep. I don't live in a shipping container. Okay, but you would go to jail in America for something like that. But I'm going to just read down expat prepper. Okay, now you're just trolling. Good comment, bad comment, trolling comment, and you are history. Where are you? Wait, let me make sure that happened. Expat prepper. I'm a drunk. See, expat prepper is the perfect troll. You could be that piece of garbage, the hemorrhoid. Good comment. 5 bad comments, I get upset. Then you leave a good comment, and I talk nice about you. Then you go back to calling me a drunk, you piece of human fecal tissue. Bye-bye, expat prepper. Go start another channel. Come back as a new entity and troll me again if that's what your psychosis in your mind allows you to do. Mitch Diff. I put my videos under comedy. I do that for a reason. You have a broader berth to say things that you wouldn't normally say if it was like, say, science fiction and nonfiction. Okay, nonfiction, you have to stick to the facts. My channel is more like science fiction, where I can make a joke out of a premise that I'm trying to bring across. It's as comedy because otherwise I couldn't ask the expat prepper when he asks me if I want to stick things in my rectum. I couldn't say to the expat prepper, ask your mother if she wants to stick things in her rectum. I make a video about that. That gives me a little bit more leeway. But do you think that expat prep is going to go ask his mother if he could shove things into her rectum? No, he's not going to do that. Why? Because he's a troll. And he did what he came here to do. He got a rise out of Michael Fazio. because the psychosis inside his little mind, that's as far as his life has ever taken him. He has never accomplished anything in his life worthwhile or worth to put on YouTube. Let's say he did accomplish something. He's embarrassed about his accomplishment. Let's just say that someone whose name, not expat prepper, but let's say there was a guy, sexpat prepper, okay? And he gave as many tune-ups as Rod Stewart did and had to go to the hospital to get his stomach pumped, okay? That would be an accomplishment because Rod Stewart, to sexpat prepper, it would be an accomplishment because Rod Stewart supposedly, and I remember this, had tuned up 50 people from the audience, men that he took behind stage. He tuned them up, and his stomach overflowed with sperm. Okay? There's a newspaper article somewhere as a venue. 50 men he gave a tune-up to, and he overdosed on sperm. So let's say the sexpat prepper did the same thing. Now, Rod Stewart became famous for this because apparently, somehow, Rod Stewart tuned up 50 people in a couple of hours. I think that's totally disturbing. But Rod Stewart's gay genre that followed him thought that was an accomplishment. So let's say there was somebody named Sexpat Prepper, and he tuned up 50 men in the audience, 50 men on Alona Beach, or 50 men in Manila. Just randomly picked 50 men, clean, showered, not showered, cologne, not cologne, 50 filthy men off the street. Let's pay this guy Sexpat Prepper, tuned up 50 guys and had sperm to the brim, let's say, like a mocha on top of a cup of coffee. Sexpat Prepper was filled to the brim with sperm. That's Sexpat Prepper, S-E-X-P-A-T. Let's say he was filled to the brim with sperm. Okay? And now he would consider that an accomplishment because he's psychosis inside his mind. He's sick inside his mind. He believes that would be an accomplishment. But would he post that on YouTube? See, the guy, Sexpat Prepper, this fictitious character that I'm talking, he may have a video of him tuning up 50 guys. But would he put it on YouTube? Would he show it to his mother? That's the question. Now, Mitch did. So that's an interesting fact that Rod Stewart tuned up 50 plus men, had to go to the hospital, get his stomach pumped because he was filled to the brim with sperm. That's just part of the comedy routine on my channel. Anthony Bruno's in the hot tub. Damn, I used to install hot tubs for a company called Rubber Dubber. In fact, I built a sub-basement pool for David Rockefeller in the 1970s. And I also installed jacuzzis on penthouse apartments on Fifth Avenue. Oh, Mitch, with this HDHD garbage. No, I don't have HDHD. I'm just a hyperactive person that's been straight for so many years. No alcohol, no drugs, no quaaludes, no methamphetamines. No, when you become a clean and straight person and you live where the air is relatively clean, you have a higher level of energy. Please don't pursue that mental genre. I'll block you too. People say that all the time about me, and no, it's not true. But I don't want to hear it again. Next person that mentions ADHD and me, gone. I'll block 50 people. I have thousands of people blocked on my channel. Thousands. Because you just say one thing I don't like on my video that has to do with any kind of perversion, any kind of sexual perversion, any kind of mental perversion, any kind of where I see trolling comments calling Daisy people call Daisy all kinds of things. Come to the hall and call Daisy something in front of me. Go ahead, I dare you. Okay, I don't really care about you at all. I will prove to you how much I don't care about you. If I was walking down the block with Daisy and you people, one of you people said some of the things that you people think you can get away with on YouTube, that's not acceptable. There are certain things that just go beyond acceptance. Okay, now would I fight over Daisy if you said something like that? It would depend on where we were. But you would not. Daisy is a good woman, and if you insulted Daisy, I would be upset. Okay, you would be regretful. Remorse is a good word. You might not think that would be the case, but remorse is something you would feel at some point in the future. Me, I would feel no remorse. I'm not that type of guy. Okay, Mitch Death is a troll. I didn't know you were a troll. Okay. Bye-bye, Mitch Death. Let's see what we got here. Mitch Death. Boy, I didn't think you were a troll. Said a few nice things. This is the true troll mentality. Say a few things nice, say something stupid. Okay. Expat prep. Where the hell was that Mitch Death? Okay, right there, Mitch. Ah, you see, Mitch Death knows that I'm blocking her or him or it or whatever this sick, mentally deranged piece of garbage is. Mitch Death, I saw the comment and I can't unsee it. What Mitch Death said was, do you like wrapping things on a stick before you insert them into your rectum? So what we're going to do is make everything that Mitch Death has said and disappear. And Fishhead Mike is Mitch Death. Goodbye, guys. Whoever you are. Okay, now. So what do you have? Does anybody have anything to say about Copenhagen there or any other type of chewing tobacco? Moose Cage. Do they sell Copenhagen tobacco? I don't know. For me to give you an answer, I would be lying. I don't know. Jimmy, you're right. Jimmy, you could look at it that the trolls have stopped a good video, or you could look at it as I gave everybody a little comedy for free. Everybody got a little something here today. Just know this, Jimmy, that all of these people saying all of this garbage, there ain't not one of them. Not one of these trolls would walk straight up to me face to face and say any of that crap to my face. That's all you need to know about the trolls. That I guarantee you. Because to date, I meet people all the time when I walk around the city. Not one time in 4 years has anybody ever said anything derogatory. And the first 3 questions I ask them, I know exactly where their mindset is at. Hey, Rabbi, okay, let's talk. And everybody has always been to the positive nature of Michael Fazio or Rabbi Jubar. So just consider it humor. I don't know if they sell Copenhagen tobacco here. Derek, everyday guy. The progress of the hotel is pretty much zero. If you had followed, it's a legitimate question, so I'll give you a legitimate answer. If you followed my channel, you would know that my foot had a bacterial infection, staph infection, and they took about 4.5 square inches of meat off the bridge of my foot, which is healing. I'll show it to you. Yep, Daisy. Well, it's still quite big. I'll show it to you. So I can't work without a special boot that I built last week. Baby, move this thing to the water. Yeah. Now, all the videos of the original injury are on my Patreon account that you can't see unless you're a member of my Patreon account. Can you see that, Daisy?
Yeah.
Is the injury seeable?
Yeah.
That injury was 2.5 inches by 2 3/4 of an inch and almost down to the bone 60 days ago. So I cannot, if I drop so much as like a 10 peso coin on my foot, I would be in enough pain to make tears come out of my eyes. So I don't work. We're preparing. We fixed all the tools that we need. We prepared a lot of the tools that we need to build the hotel. I ordered a lot of the supplies. I got in contact with people for equipment that I'm going to purchase in the future to build the hotel. But the physical work on the hotel, Daisy, give me the brace, honey. The brace we made. I made this brace. It slips. I have to wear a sandal, and it slips under the sandal. And then this wraps around the bridge of my foot, this metal. And under this, I put this K-Pack on top of the bridge of my foot. I wrap this K-Pack around my foot, around the bridge of the foot. Hard to show you without putting it on. I'm not putting it on. I tape the cap to my foot like so in here. And then this protects on top of the K-Pack, this metal that folds like this. So the K-Pack is on top of the bridge of the foot. My foot's in a sandal. And this top metal frame protects the bridge of my foot. If I drop something like let's say I dropped a 16-ounce hammer on my foot, it's just raw meat that you saw in with raw nerves exposed to the atmosphere. So I can't do any physical work where I have to worry about dropping a rock or a hammer or a tool on my foot. Well, we worked in the shop to rebuild the filters, and in that video, in the shop video that you're going to see that I posted today, antique hydraulic filter rebuilding, you'll see this setup in the video. Now, I want to say something else to anybody that's watching now, that's part of being a real man. To work around an injury, I created this out of a piece of junk sheet metal that protects the bridge of my foot. This gets taped to my leg at a certain height so that if anything does hit my foot, it deflects off. It doesn't, even if something heavy, it won't go down. The deflection rate is high. This slips under my foot to hold it in place. I put a piece of tape around this way to hold it to the back of heel of my foot. And basically my foot slips in there with the K-Pack on top of my foot. That's the definition of a real man in my book. I could have said, well, I can't work until my foot is healed. It's already, what you saw was 60 days old with medical attention. It'll be another 60 days before the skin heals over that. So I could have said, well, I'll just take off 4 months. But no, I didn't do that. I walk around the city getting everything I need. So some chump here, some chump troll said, we're not going to build the hotel. I'm building it at my rate of what I want to build. If I want to go out and work today for 6 hours, I go out and work today for 6 hours. I have so much stuff to do in preparation to build the hotel. To order the machinery that I'm going to buy next year, I have 50 or 60 hours online searching for the machinery to build the to build the hotel next year. And by After 50 plus hours to find just one piece of equipment, to locate one piece of equipment and a price for one piece of equipment, dealing with all these companies from China that you ask them for a price, they tell you to go on Skype. You go on Skype, they tell you that they want you to send them the entire 300,000 pesos, which is $6,000, up front, and they'll send you the equipment. So you're sending a person on Skype $6,000, and you're going to hope that they send you the piece of equipment. It's insane trying to buy stuff here in the Philippines. So after 50 hours of dealing with, just for this one piece of equipment I'm purchasing, just one, 50 plus hours dealing with the same piece of equipment is built in Germany. It's built in, there was another place like Germany in that part of the world. The same piece of equipment is built in Japan, several places in China, Germany, and Switzerland. Okay, every single person on the entire internet that you inquire about this piece of equipment tells you we can discuss it on Skype, not on Alibaba. You go to Alibaba, you find the equipment. You want to talk to Mr. Chow from China. Tells you to go to Skype. You go to Skype, you ask Mr. Chow for a price. Then Mr. Chow says to you, when do you want it delivered? He doesn't give you a price. When is the delivery date? Legitimate question. Okay, now you give them the delivery date, and then they ask you how many pieces you want. Even after you said in your first message, I want one of these pieces of equipment, and I want these accessories with the equipment. Accessories. And Mr. Chow comes back and says, how many? If you buy two, we can give you a special discount and you could become a sales rep in your area. Listen, you stupid bastard, I just want one piece of equipment. What didn't you understand? And then I just disconnect him from Skype. I asked the salesman for one piece of equipment and gave him the list of the accessories, and now he wants me to be a salesman for equipment in the Philippines when he knows that foreigners can't have businesses in the Philippines, which would mean I'd be setting up a buy and sell operation in the Philippines, which means I'd be setting up a business in the Philippines. These people on the internet are a bunch of scammers, just like the scum that are trolling my channel. They are low-life, good-for-nothing, what I call garbage men in real life, and what I will call garbage men in real life. And I will even go further than that, okay? Don't make any mistake about it. Meet me in the city. Meet me in the mall. You start your rhetoric nonsense, calling me gay, asking me if I want to shove things into the low boot. You do that. You see what happens. Of course, if there's a lot of people around, you're going to get away with it. So do it in a very, very public venue. Bring your camera because it's going to be interesting. Okay, Michael Dish got deleted because Nick Diff was really some jerk. I forgot his name already. Mikhail Bravo. Hello. There are no physical, share the music. There are no physical copies of Angels on the Ark because it's 1,990 pages. Can you imagine you buying a 1,990-page book in four different colors and 16 or 17 different texts? Big letters, small letters, Roman Gothic letters, Italian numeral type letters. You would spend about $500 for the book. You're asking me for a hard copy of a book that would cost $500 when all you had to do was go to my home page and pay $2.99 for an internet channel. It says if you reviewed the book, it's 1,900. Well, on Amazon, it's 1,770 pages, but on the original book was 1,990 pages. The answer is no, there aren't any physical copies, and if there were, you couldn't afford it. Neither could anybody else. I'm lucky I sold 4,000 ebooks. Imagine trying to at between $3 and $12. I changed the price according different times of the year. The prices change, and I'm allowed to do that. Imagine trying to get $400 or $500 for a book that I can't sell for 12. And an ebook is a lot better than a regular book anyway. It comes in a PDF form. It can't be recopied. It can't be downloaded. You could buy two and send one to your cousin. Yes, Blue Rose. Exactly right. Blue Rose, pretty much. Yeah, that guy. I forgot his name. That's how much. That's how I know the expat prepper. Actually, he was probably the other guy, Mike, whatever that guy's name is. Okay, or the hemorrhoid was all of those people. The hemorrhoid has hundreds of accounts over the last 7 or 8 years. He used to troll me with comments where he would talk to himself from 5 different accounts. He would have conversations with himself about selling some product or what product was good or what other channel was good. And on every channel he would come and talk to himself in 5 different channel names. It's a troll. And that's what these guys do. They give you expat prepper. I told him that I was going to ban him if he said anything wrong. And then he says something nice. So then I answer his question and the piece of garbage. And I will call you. You walk up to me on the street. You do this. You walk up to me on the street and tell me I'm expat prepper. And you watch what happens. If it's very, very public place, I'm gonna pull out my video camera and I'm gonna embarrass you in front of all of those people. And you should hope that it's a very, very public place. Since you have never talked like that to any real man in real life. And the reason I know that is because you're still able to type. Hello, Warren H. I'm doing well, thank you. Actually, I'm doing well. My foot is healing well. I just showed people a few minutes ago the wound after 60 days. It was a staph infection. As you know, you've been following some of my videos. And it went down real close to the bone. And it was 2.5 inches wide in one direction and 2 3/4 of an inch wide in the other. And they took all the meat and scraped the skin just about to the bone. And that was 60. Today's the 21st, 22nd. It was July 11th. So that would make it 30, 31, 42 days ago. But the wound started 60 days ago. And it got progressively worse until I went to the doctor. Okay. Derek, everyday guy, you're confused. I'm not going to answer that. That question's been answered 10,000 times. How can I own a business? I'm not going to explain to you my business practices. Everything I do here is legal. If you were a member of my Patreon account and you want a serious answer to that, sign up for my Patreon account for $10 a month, and I'll answer questions like that. I'll teach you how to work the system in the Philippines in a totally legal manner from the advice that was given to me by my lawyers that I paid for. But you want me to explain to you how to operate a business in the Philippines legally because foreigners can't own businesses? It's true to 100%. That's the truth. But there are ways to work around every aspect of law in the Philippines. One of them would be quite simple, and the other ones are not so simple. But if you want an actual answer, sign up for my Patreon account. Click the link on my homepage. Become a $10 subscriber for at least 30 days. So at least I know you're going to give me $10 for the information that's worth thousands of dollars. And then I'll give you the information. But there are ways for foreigners to own businesses in the Philippines. Now, and that plus you'll have the access to 400 other videos, Obama videos that are no longer available on YouTube because the comedy is deemed over and above, maybe even insightful comedy. Some of my videos. Oh, did I hear somebody say Obama? Okay, what time is it? All right, 1:30? Okay, thanks. Where did you put that telephone number, the code that I asked you for? Okay, thanks. Okay, see you in a little bit. So, you people want information for free. Do I see Derek Everyday Guy with a video saying Mike Fazio makes great videos? No. Do I see Derek Everyday Guy having Mike Fazio as one of his favorite channels on YouTube? No. Do I see Derek Everyday Guy coming to my channel, pushing the thumbs up and sharing it with his friends? The answer is no. So why would I give you information that I paid a lot of money and several years of my time? Why would I give that to you just because you asked me on a live stream? Get real, dude. I know who you are, and I don't really care who you are. I don't care who any of these people are. You're asking me for information how to start business in the Philippines when 1,000 other bloggers have covered it, but you want to know how I can own a hotel business in the Philippines. None of them have covered that. And there's a way to work around it. Okay? And it's all legal. And I've already checked it out with all the authorities. And everybody's happy with my solution. Jesus Christ. People are funny. There's 1,000 people that put how to own a business in the Philippines up. And you want me to explain it to you again, which I probably could have done in the time I told you that the comment is worthless because you're not worth answering the comment. Now, if I offended you, that's good. Go someplace else and become somebody else's subscriber. I suggest you go to one of the Ladyboy channels and go there and ask them how to start a business in the Philippines. Because I don't really care about Derek Everyday Guy. I know who you are. I know you always ask questions, but I don't care about you. You're not assisting me in any way, shape, or form by coming here and asking me about how do I start a hotel business. You want me to explain it to you? The way my lawyer explained it to me? The way my lawyer was charging me 5,000 pesos an hour to explain it to me? You want that? Is that what you want? All right, share the music. You're saving up for a Kindle, whatever that is. I don't know. A Kindle reader? I don't know. I read it on my computer. I never had a problem. But if it hurts your eyes, that I understand. The frequency of the computer screen does hurt certain people's eyes. Thanks for sharing that with me. Okay, now, yeah, a hyperbaric oxygen chamber for my injury increases the ability. Yeah, now where exactly am I going to get a hyperbaric oxygen chamber? They don't even have one of those in the Philippines, by the way. And if they do, it's new. But when I moved here, there was one in Manila. You'd be long dead if you got the Benz by the time they shipped it to you, and you couldn't afford the transportation costs. Well, you'd be shipped there, but you'd be dead before you got to it. You want me to construct a hyperbaric oxygen chamber? I guess you could do that, but I'm not gonna. You could build anything you want. Okay, Chris Alexander wants me to make Obama fly. Well, Obama likes to fly. Watch. Mr. Obama. In Manila, there's a guy that specifically um, interviews ladyboys and prostitutes and transgender. You want to go to Manila? Whee! Mr. Obama, come back over here. When you say we, what do you mean? Where are you going? I'm going to Manila. Where are you going? Going to visit the ladyboy Waka in Manila. Well, he's not a ladyboy, Mr. Obama. But he knows ladyboys. He knows ladyboys, Michael. Well, he knows where they are. He knows where. I'm going to Manila. I'm going to fly there. Watch me fly. I'm a flying. I'm a flying. I'm a flying. I'm a flying. I'm flying to Manila. Okay, Mr. Obama was flying to Manila to meet up with the ladyboy bloggers. I mean, the bloggers that blog about ladyboys, transvestites, and gays. Okay, now, see, now Warren H. Okay, Warren H. Now, see, this is the kind of comment that I appreciate. Okay. I don't know where to start. I could tell you that in the 1940s, they had a cure for cancer. There's a documentary. You can Google it. I'm not going to put it up on my page because everybody that puts this up on their page, their view counts go down even further. The government doesn't want you to know about this. There is something called sound therapy. Warren could probably give you the better name or the place that he's going to. But every object in the universe has a frequency that will destroy the structure of that frequency. Like a champagne glass, when you bang a tuning fork against it, when the vibration reaches a certain vibration, the glass shatters. Well, cancer cells are identical in nature. When the cancer cell has a certain frequency that is different than a healthy cell in your body. So if they can find the frequency of the type of cancer that you have, they can shoot a sound into the cancer cell area and it blows up the cancer cells. Basically, it's like a microwave that blows up like an egg. An egg would blow up if you put it in the microwave. Bacon pops when you put it in the microwave. Water boils when you put it in the microwave. Well, in the 40s or the 50s, 16 people went in for cancer treatment with this sound therapy. And 16 people were cured in 3 weeks. One of them took 5 weeks. But 15 of those 16 people were cured. It was admitted. All the information and data was given to the American Medical Association, and they made it disappear. Okay. But now there are people that are doing it on their own. Now, Warren H. said that he's going in for that type of treatment because I gave him a piece of information, the same piece of information I just put out there. Now, as many people that can do radiation treatment with sound therapy, probably more can't do it and charge you money to do something that they don't have the proper equipment to do. But if you could find the people that had the proper equipment to cure cancer, your cancer could be cured or some cancer could be cured with sound therapy. Now, I'm not going to provide a link for any of that stuff because I'm not a doctor, but I only know what I read, and the documentation looked pretty real, and it's on YouTube. Sound therapy, cancer treatment, sound therapy. So I suggested it to Warren A., and he's going in next week for kidney cancer, and I wish him the best of luck because that's not a good thing. So I wish you the best of luck, Warren, and thanks for putting that out there, that you're at least going to try an alternative medicine, because that's one thing the government doesn't want you to do. They don't want you trying alternative medicines, especially if they work. All right, let me review these comments. Tesla said, if you want to understand the universe, you have to think in frequencies. Well, he did say that, but it's metaphysical. If you want to understand the universe, you'd have to learn how to become one with yourself, and you'd understand more about the universe than you could ever read in any books through meditation. Some people do it through prayer. Some people it happens to just by chance. Some people do. The possibility of you reaching a higher state of consciousness like Buddha or Christ is if 10,000 people decided today, 10,000 people decided today to become spiritually aware and move to the level of consciousness that Christ or Buddha or any of the other, even Walt Whitman, Plato, Shakespeare, they all move to higher planes of consciousness. If 10,000 people said, I want to do that, I'm going to devote 5 years of my life to moving to that level of consciousness, 1 in 10,000 people are going to get to where that level of consciousness. The rest will, of course, be benefited by the higher states of awareness. But to move to the Christ consciousness or the Buddha consciousness, where you could manipulate time and energy, 1 in 10,000. So don't take what Tesla said with a grain of salt. Tesla may very well have been on that level I just spoke about. And he used the word frequencies, but there are different levels of consciousness or frequencies of consciousness. So I understand all of that, which is why I don't care about the people in YouTube and the people I've blocked, because I understand a higher level of consciousness in the universe exists, and that all of you people are just the troll with the psychoses inside his head. He has to learn to move beyond these psychoses before he can become a normal, rational human being, whatever that means. But it certainly doesn't mean that a grown man of 40 years old or 30 years old or 50 years old or 25 years old, it doesn't mean a grown man comes to another man's channel that's trying to share some information with people on an intellectual level, and you come and troll. There's something wrong with you in the head. I believe you should be deprived of certain things. I don't know about baking soda being a cure for cancer. I've read about it. I've read about it, but I don't know. I know nothing about it. I read maybe 1 or 2 articles. It's an interesting concept. I don't know anything about baking soda being a cure for cancer. I do know that there are enough articles with that sound therapy to believe that to be true. Baking soda, I don't know to be true because I never read enough about it. Chris Alexander wants Obama to fly. I make Obama fly, right? And then Chris Alexander comes back and he's talking about the sky in Frozen. Is the sky frozen, Mr. Obama? It's frozen, Michael Fazio. You think you're Peter Pan? I wish. I wish I could be Peter Pan. I wish I could have met Peter Pan. I heard Peter Pan I heard Peter Pan had many friends. Mr. Obama, you fly over there. Ready? 1, 2, 3, take off. Fell. Mr. Obama, he fell down. Sorry, Mr. Obama. Okay. Moose Cage. Why is the Philippines 96% Catholic? They got these people under their thumb. Let me tell you something about the Catholic Church in the Philippines. It's alive and well. Me personally, I can't go into those little buildings looking for God. I don't believe God can fit inside one of those little buildings. I don't care how big the building is. But here's an interesting fact. Every Catholic church between Alona Beach and Tagbilaran, and every Catholic church in the city of Tagbilaran. And I say every church, no matter what size it was, no matter how small their following, is expanding and doubling and tripling in size of the buildings. And when I say everyone, let's say you had a map of 100 Catholic churches. 75 are under construction to double or triple the size of the church. So the Catholic Church is alive and well in the Philippines. I don't know why the Catholic Church does so well here, considering all the problems that the Catholic Church is having. But what you don't understand about the Catholic Church and the problems they're having in America is the people in the Philippines don't have internet. 50 years ago, you got on the train in New York City, everybody had a newspaper reading what's going on. I've never seen a newspaper in a public transportation vehicle being read. I've seen it wrapped up in somebody's hand, and their newspaper is 6 pages. And it's only local news. So no one knows about the atrocities of the child molesters in Pennsylvania, or the criminal charges being brought against the priests in Pennsylvania. Nobody knows this in the Philippines. No one talks about it. If you ask 1,000 people in front of the church if they know about the child molesters in the city of Pennsylvania or state of Pennsylvania, I don't think 3 of them would say yes. And if they did, they only heard about it. They don't believe it to be true. Me talking about the Catholic Church. You want my opinion about the Catholic Church? Buy the book that the other guy couldn't buy because he didn't have a Kindle reader. Okay? Buy the book. That nonsense about having a Kindle reader or not having, I don't know anything about that. But $2.99 for the book, I can't see why you couldn't change the resolution on your computer screen. And I'm not really interested in talking to you about $2.99. Whether you could afford a Kindle reader, I don't know if you can afford a Kindle reader or not. I really don't care. Okay? If you can't afford it, but what I do know is this. If you can't afford a Kindle reader and you're of a working, I'm 62 and I still work harder than 99% of the people that are watching these videos. Okay? And I mean that. I work hard out in the sun with sledgehammers and pickaxes and rocks and trenching stuff and fixing equipment and swinging 18-pound sledgehammers. If you can't afford a Kindle reader, maybe you should be looking for a second job. I don't know. I could be wrong about this, but maybe you should be looking for a real job to earn enough money to buy a Kindle reader and not watching YouTube videos. Chris Alexander. Yeah, I like chess. I'm not real good at it. It's an interesting game. I never got anywhere near good enough to say I'm a good chess player. I can play chess. I haven't played chess in. Last time I played chess was in 1990. That was the last time I played chess. And the guy I played chess with went to jail. the day after I beat him for the first time in 2 years. Interesting story, but not for YouTube. Yeah, I know about the genocide going on in South Africa, and I don't talk about that because my channel was censored for enough reasons already. But I do know about that, and if Trump isn't doing anything about it, there you go. Mr. Trump. If he would have listened to me, if he did listen to me, if he took me on as a running mate, I would tell him 10 things how to not lose his presidency, because this guy is not following a proper frame of mind. Trump is just another person headed in the same direction as Mr. Obama. They're two peas in a pod. Anybody that thinks there's any difference between Mr. Trump and Mr. Obama, there is. One of them happens to be a better human being than the other. But both of them are being given orders by the same powers that be. And when Trump does this in every one of his videos, or this in every one of his videos, or he puts his hands down flat on a table and does this, or he puts his hands on his chest, on his lower groin area, and does that, that's Trump's way of telling you he's on board with the powers that be. The difference between Trump and Obama is that Trump is taking you on Obama's headed up the road straight, and Trump is going to take you on and off a clover leaf and still heading in the same direction. Make no mistake, Mr. Trump and Mr. Obama are two different people, but both of their end goals, or what they are told to be an objective at the end of the line, is the same thing. But I don't get involved with South Africa politics. All right, John Bone gave a good definition of a cancer cell. Someone is interested in history. Blue Rose says, in history, mainly Catholics under Jesuit agenda colonized under the guise of being missionaries, instituted and forced a lot of indigenous peoples to become Catholic. That's true. The whole Catholic Church is a scam, as far as I'm concerned. And I'll give you my personal experience with the Catholic Church. I'll talk to you about two boys I grew up with that were molested by priests. They become the most psychotic people I have grew up with. But I didn't know why they were screwed up in the head. When we were children, 5 years old, they were normal playing, play pals. But when we got older, like 11, 12, 13 years old, they used to disappear for the whole day. And where they were was a priest had an apartment a couple of blocks away from the church, and they were spending the whole day in a small 2-room apartment with the priest being molested. That's a true story. They were screwed up. One of them, I'm not sure if either one of them are still alive, but they were both, everybody did drugs in the 60s and 70s. Just get that straight. But these two guys couldn't do enough drugs every day. And that was what screwed them up, the priest and being molested. Now, my personal experience with the Catholic Church was even worse than that, because I was brought up in a middle-class home. But when I moved out at about the age of 21, I didn't have money for food. I had an apartment. I could just barely pay my rent and my phone bill, but there was no work. So I went to the Catholic Church and asked them for food, and they wouldn't give me any food. And I had been a donor to the Catholic Church from the time I was 5 years old. We went to church and Mass and Sundays and Easter Sundays and Christmas. They knew who I was. They knew exactly who I was. They knew I donated to the church up until I was about 16 or 17 years old. And then I didn't have money for that because I moved out of my mother and father's house. And when I asked them for food, they said, no, we can't give you any food. I said, I have no food. They said, you need to find a job. I said, okay. I went and did odd jobs until I bought food. But when they wouldn't give me food, I stopped my association with the Catholic Church. Then later on in years, I was very successful building decks and docks. And one of the priests that I knew since I was 5 years old came to my business, one of my jobs I was doing. I was building a deck and dock system on 95th Street in Howard Beach. And he goes, can you come to the church? We have a job we want you to look at. I said, sure. This is the Catholic Church. Here's a church that people give them cash. They don't pay taxes on it. They don't pay taxes on the property. They don't pay taxes on their car. They don't pay taxes for their license. They don't pay for nothing. You watch them shop in the store at the time was Wall Bombs. You see them buying prime ribs, prime rib, whatever prime ribs are, T-bone steaks in the supermarket. You see them buying 10 pounds of T-bone steaks for a small group of priests and whatever. There was only like 5 priests in the parish, and they'd be buying pounds of the most expensive meat, the shrimp and lobster. They're eating shrimp and lobster. I can't afford rice, and they wouldn't give me food. So the priest comes and says, we have a big job for you to do at the church. So I go there, I look at the job. It was a platform. They wanted a 22-foot wide platform, 5 feet off the tarmac for a band and for a dance floor. They wanted it for 2 purposes. They wanted this entire thing to come apart in sections. So it was going to be built out of pressure-treated lumber, out of, say, 5 foot high by 6 foot wide, and then vertical columns. And they would get put together with bolts, nuts, and wing nuts and bolts, and galvanized or stainless steel bolts. Well, to build that in 1980, I would think 83, 84, I had that was when I was my biggest boom in business for building decks and docks. And I had about 25 people working for me. And I said to the guy, I can build this for you. Plywood deck, simple railing, just a 2x4 top rail, 2x4 top rail and guard, and 1 rail at the bottom at knee height. Simple deck. I told him it's going to cost them $10,000. Materials were $4,000 to build it for the wood, and I think another $1,000 for the bolts, nuts, and washers. $5,000. I built it in about 5 days with 5 men, and I wanted $5,000 for the labor. $1,000 a day for me and 5 men. And the priest looked at me and said, "What do you mean $10,000?" I said, "It's going to cost you 10 grand." "Well, don't you want to donate it to the church?" I said, What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Donate $10,000 to the church for? What are you talking to me about that for? When I asked you for food only 7 or 8 years ago, and I came looking for food at the rectory for the priests, and you people turned me down and wouldn't give me money for food, and now you want me to give you $10,000? We're done. We're done here. I never donated another penny to the Catholic Church after that. I didn't care if it was Easter. People said, let's go to church for Easter. No, thank you. Let's go to church for Christmas. No, thank you. And now I see the same thing happening in the Philippines. There are people literally starving to death, begging for food, undernourished, with disease-ridden bodies, begging in front of the church. And they're there every Sunday. And the Catholic Church doesn't do anything about that. So why should I give a church that's absolutely immense, the Church of Tagbilaran, and they've expanded it 3 times the size of what it was 4 years ago. They're going up 7 and 8 and 10 stories off the ground. They're building rooms and classrooms and schools, and they're building stuff I have no idea what they're building. It's immense. and they are letting people starve to death at the gate. At the gate on Sunday morning, the poor people are begging for scraps and pesos, and they let that happen? No, thank you. I don't want to be part of the Catholic Church. Why they have grown so big, to answer the question, is because these people don't have access to newspapers and internet. 1 in 100 people in the Philippines can watch the internet. I'm talking about grandmother, grandfather, children, grandchildren, cousins, and relatives. Maybe 1 in 100 goes to the internet and watches the internet for news. Maybe 20 in 100 kids go to play games, but only 1 in 100 is going to go read the news. And I've never seen an adult in an internet store that watches or reads the internet. Never seen an adult. I've seen people going on 30, 35 years old looking something up, but not the news. You don't see them reading the news. And I look to see what people are looking at the internet. Never seen a Filipino go on the internet to read it. They're not going to pay for that. 5 pesos for 5 minutes. They make 40 pesos an hour. So 8 times 5 is 40 minutes. They're going to pay an hour. They're going to pay an hour's wage to be on the internet for 40 minutes. They're not going to do it. And they can't afford a computer. But no one in the Philippines is informed about news or social issues. That's why the Catholic Church thrives in the Philippines. Now, I'm going to go back. I see any more trolls, I'm going to work. Moose Cage, thanks, Blue. I was wondering, I am a Patreon also. Mike, thanks for your answer. Yeah, Moose, if you ask me an intelligent question, I'm going to give you my perspective, okay? And I got news for you. I give you the best that I have every time. Intelligent questions get answered. It doesn't matter if you're a Patreon member, except when you are asking, not you per se, because if you got the notice in Patreon, I sent out a general notice yesterday afternoon telling any of my Patreon members that you can post in Patreon. Any member, all members, there's only 17 members, but all members were welcome to send me their telephone number in the message center in Patreon. Oh, thank you, Moose. Moose. Okay, thank you. All members, if you got the message if you were a member of my Patreon account, you would say that I sent out a general message to all my subscribers or pledges in Patreon that if they wish to talk to me about any topic at all, and Moose can confirm this, any topic at all, I will call you. Steve, I'm not going to get involved with his last name, but Steve asked Daisy, come on over here for a minute, please. Steve asked me to call him this morning. I got the email, and who did you talk to? What was the lady's name?
His wife, Cheryl.
Cheryl or Shirley?
Cheryl.
Cheryl? Okay. So we called, and Steve wasn't home, but his wife wanted to talk to Daisy. And they talked for about a half an hour. His wife is also Filipina. So I extend myself to anybody for a good cause. Now, Daisy, I'm happy that Steve's wife is Filipina and that Daisy got to talk to her for half an hour because it expands her consciousness. It expands her horizons. It expands her ability to understand how Filipinos are living in other countries. And whatever they talked about, it was beyond me. It was all Greek to me, so to speak. But did you have a nice conversation?
Yeah, I have a nice conversation with Ate Cheryl.
Okay, and what did you talk about?
What?
What did you talk about? Tell the people what you talked about.
Well, we talk about in America and what we're doing here. If it's Michael is doing good and me also is, she said take care always. Then
Take care. Oh, when she said, "Mike, is Michael doing good?" What did she mean by that? I mean,
yeah,
my foot. Oh, she knows that you are taken care of, right?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. See, that's one thing. Daisy's. Let me tell you something about Daisy and my injury too. We dressed the wound together, but Daisy has no qualms at all when it was oozing pus out of the top of my foot. She is not afraid to clean it and help me put the bandaging on. It not something she does because I ask her to do. She If I say, Daisy, let's dress the wound, she just goes right over to the box. Here's the box right there. Takes out the box, lays everything out on the floor, gets my clean water to do the. Daisy's a good woman in every sense of the word, and I try to take care of Daisy to the same degree. So when Steve knows that also because I talk with Steve maybe 4 times. So any of my Patreon members get get answers every time if it's an intelligent question. If it's not intelligent or I don't know the answer, I might even do some research, which was in the general message to my Patreon members. If they had a specific reason or a question they wanted answered, if I had the knowledge, I would give them the knowledge. If I didn't, I would find out if it's researchable. They wanted to know information in the Philippines. I research it in the Philippines. They wanted to know something, research out of the encyclopedia. I'll research it out of the encyclopedia. I'll research it through YouTube videos. Okay, Daisy, thank you. You had lunch, didn't you?
No, not yet.
Not yet? I smell food.
Oh, wait.
You'll wait? You're going to eat or not? You're not going to
Later, no, we'll cook.
Is
Yeah.
the chicken? We're going to make the chicken, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. How many eggs?
That's good.
How many?
How many do you want?
How many do we have left? 9?
9 in the top. Yeah, I think.
Okay, 6.
Okay.
Okay, and then if we want to have 3 eggs for breakfast, we'll have 3 for. You could open it up and cover it. It would be okay. Okay, so I just had to discuss our lunch menu. And hey, Blue Roses, and hey, I'll plug this in here. I've read Angels on the Ark. There is a wealth of insight and material in there. So many pages for not that much money. Why not buy it, folks? Thank you, Blue Rose. Well, the book is 1,990 pages. That was the original 602,000 words. You could have 2,000 pages in 5 words. 602,000 characters, excuse me. No, 602,000 words. Is it characters or words? A lot of words. Okay, it's 1,990 pages, so 602,000 characters. That's what it is. Okay, it's more than 500,000 characters. It's a long detail. I take pieces of the Bible and I show you what part of the Bible it says. I take a phrase from the Bible and I show you the picture that associates itself with the pictograph on the dollar bill. There is nobody else in the entire world that can do that. If they could, they wouldn't because they know they'd get killed. And they're afraid of being killed. I call them the sissy men. Okay? If you got something to say it. If you're going to, there is no way I'm getting out alive. Pink Floyd says it best. No one gets out alive. It's how you're going to go that makes a difference. I am going to go happy. Okay? I don't really give a flying crap if it's 5 minutes from now or 10 years from now. It don't make any difference to me whatsoever. When I went to the hospital and they told me they want to put me in the hospital because they were afraid they're going to lose that my foot might fall off because the infection went internal more than it went external. I said, okay, I have my toothbrush with me. And the doctor said, that's it? I said, do I need more than my toothbrush to go into your hospital? He said, no. I said, well, then sign me in. He goes, well, we'll wait a few days. Okay, but I didn't get upset. I didn't cry over it. I didn't say, oh, my God, I'm going to lose my foot. I should have went to the doctor before I went to the doctor. This is my fault. I accept responsibility. I'm not happy about losing my foot. And I would not have lost my foot. I would have just did something I always wanted to do. And then one way or another, it wouldn't make a difference. Okay? I'm not like you people. I don't look at life the same way you people do. I give you my honest, my honest answer. And when Moose Cage was asking me a question and it's a legitimate question, you get a legitimate answer. I'm not like these bloggers on YouTube that are afraid to cross the line. I cross them all. I don't know what Chris Alexander's done. Now, Moose Cage. Moose, thank you. Okay, Moose, you've been a subscriber for many months on my Patreon account. Okay, there's another thing I appreciate the super chat money. Okay, and now, Daisy, what's today? Wednesday. Okay, I'm gonna go out. That super chat money only goes to one place. It goes to Daisy and I having dinner. So we're going to have dinner with that money, that Moose Cage. It doesn't go to anything other than dinners. And then we'll make a video thanking Moose Cage. So that's how that money is going to be spent. I do appreciate it. I don't ask people for super chats. And if you could read, Moose, if you could read the letter that I wrote to Gary Bono here on, he overpledged by way too much money on my Patreon account. I was embarrassed that a man wants to give me that much money, okay, each month, okay. I asked him to reduce the amount of money he pledged in Patreon in a long letter, several hundred words, because I don't think that one person should have to donate or should donate that much money to a blogger. I'm going to make the videos about what I make the videos about public. I'm going to make those anyway. As far as the Obama videos, if someone was to pledge $3 a month, they get to see most every Obama video. Most every Obama video goes up at $3, and I just post it as a semi-private video. And there's 400 semi-private videos, 250 serious comedy where I get thrown off of YouTube. What could I do? It's the kind of guy I am. But they can't throw me off of Patreon. They just suppressed my view count. But getting back to Gary Bono, yeah, he went way above and beyond with this money pledge. I asked him to reduce it. I don't know if I'm the only person ever to ask a pledger to reduce the money by more than half. I wanted it lowered back to what it was. He went up 66%. Or thereabouts. And he sent me back this long letter as to why. It was interesting, but I can't make it available to you. But I don't ask people for money. I'm not on YouTube telling you I can't buy food. I'm going to buy food with Moose Cage's super chat because that's what we do with the super chat money. We go out to a dinner and I make a little video about a local restaurant. But I don't ask people for money. Okay, I'm not asking. But when I ask you to buy my book, that would benefit you, as Blue Rose has said. There's a wealth of information in my book that not only was I the first to publish, I was the only person in Earth's history to publish about the pictographs on the dollar bill associating themselves with the Bible. And I'm the only person in the world's history to say that the skull and bones is on the dollar bill, the owl is on the dollar bill, and prove it. and then bet $10,000 that you can't prove it's not there. And all you have to do is take the damn dollar bill out of your pocket and look at it. It's right there in front of your face. Fold it the way it's on my homepage. So I give you information that cost me 30 years of research on and off, 15 years of hard research, and 5 solid years of research, proving my theories beyond any doubt, and then giving you examples in the book. And I proved them beyond any doubt before I wrote it, so I could know. I became a member of the secret societies on an infiltration basis to know what they know. You know what these secret societies on the bottom tier levels know? They know nothing. They know nothing about the pictographs on the dollar bill. I'm the first person in recorded history to say the Ark of the Covenant's on the dollar bill, and not one member of my community back in the year 2000 knew it was there until I told them, I asked them about, what do you think about this symbol? And they knew nothing about it. My level of understanding of pictography and the Bible goes so far beyond anybody else's understanding. You couldn't even comprehend it till you read the book. So you think because I'm some schlep fix-it working in a traco, that's all I am? Some people are multi-talented, and they can multitask, and they can do more things than other people by a considerable degree. I'm one of those gifted people. So thanks again, Moose. In fact, maybe we'll try to do that dinner tomorrow. Put your name on a dinner that we've been looking forward to, but we didn't get to this week. Well, I had to go to the city for 2 days to look for the material to rebuild the hydraulic filter for the machine. And I had to do another piece of business in regards to a piece of equipment that I'm going to purchase down the line. I started telling people, I give you solid information here about the Philippines. I just told you about the Catholic Church running amok here. Blue Rose confirmed it. I researched a piece of equipment from 8 different suppliers in China, Japan, Germany, India, and Sweden. I got a runaround from 8 different suppliers. 3 weeks ago, I stopped by a store, a little hole-in-the-wall store that's in front of a man's house, a little business where they repair certain pieces of, they repair lawnmowers and blowers and stuff like that. I said to the guy, he had a cement mixer in front of his place, a new one. How much is it? He said 63,000 pesos for you. I said, well, that's a good price, because even though they were selling for 57,000 pesos 6 months ago, now they're 63. He gave me a price of 63, but somebody else told me 70. The same equipment, same name, same motor, same everything. So I said to him, can you get the one with the lift on it? Automatic. Yes, sir, I can get that for you. When do you need it? I said, well, let's just say I said I wanted it. Can you get it? Yes, I can get it. So you can order the piece of equipment for me. You can deliver it under your name, because they have customs charges. But he has a customs license to broker importing equipment. And he gets that cement mixer from the same company I want to buy my cement mixer from. So that was just a fluke. But I can tell you where to buy that cement mixer. But so people, my Patreon members, if I can't find it, I ask around and I talk to people. I walk into the automotive store and I'll just start talking out loud. Where can I buy this filter? Anybody know where I can buy this filter or get replacement filters? And always somebody will walk up to me if they have the information and give it to you free. Well, I'll give it to you free. Okay, but I'm the kind of guy to stop 35 people from talking in an automotive parts store to find out where to get the parts for my filter. I need a filter, or I need a cartridge. And the cartridges they had in Tire Queen weren't the right size cartridge. So who's got the cartridges to fit this thing? Paper filters. And somebody told me where to go. And I went, and they had, but it was the 4th stop. It was the fifth stop is where I got the filter cartridge replacement from. I was tired. I was hot. I was sweaty. I spent all day looking for a paper filter. So, all right, getting back. Thank you again, Moose. Moose would confirm that I sent out that email, and Moose, that's what your name is going on a super chat. Should it be anything special? I mean, if you're a vegetarian, we will go eat vegetarian. If that's up to you, it would be your choice. If you are a pizza, I'll bring you a video. I'll put pizza, Moose Chat, Super Chat, Moose Cage, pizza with, and your favorite topping. Thank you again, Moose. Daisy, come here, please. Please say thank you to Moose.
Oh, thank you so much, Moose Cage. Is that right?
That Moose Cage, that's right. And we're going to have a super chat dinner on Moose.
Yeah, well, it's good.
Oh, come on, dude. No. This isn't. Oh, dude. Moose. Moose. Now you're really embarrassing me, Moose. Moose, $15. Moose, $15 in the Philippines. If you can take that back, oh, that would be good. $15 in the Philippines will buy us a first class dinner. Thank you, but please, Moose, don't. If you could take it back, if there's a way to undo your super chat for the second one, please do. $15. I'll give you, for instance, the best possible hamburger, double cheeseburger deluxe with fries, 370 pesos. Wasn't that true? 300 and it's $7.40. We could buy two of the best hamburger meals for $7. Thank you, but we will spend that money on super chat dinners. But if you could take it back, that'd be great too. All right, $15. That's a lot of money for a meal here. Thank you. It'll just go to a second. It'll just go to a second. It'll just go to a second dinner, but not. It's got to be one a week because I can't. My God, I'm on a diet. I mean, I've been eating. How many cucumbers this week, honey? How many cucumbers?
10 more.
10 or more cucumbers in the last 5 days.
Yeah.
Big cucumbers like that. Every snack is a cucumber. Go get the cucumbers.
Chopped?
Yeah, chopped. Okay, so I'm on a diet and I'm not eating so much fried foods, but we will do that. Thank you, Moose. I'll show you what I'm really eating a lot of. Chris Alexander. Yeah, the brothers. Yeah. This is my main food. About 70%. Oh, where did it go? About 70% of all the foods I eat are cucumbers. I eat one of these baskets of cucumbers every 7 hours that I'm awake. The way we make this taste good is when we take a bell pepper and put it in with our eggs for breakfast, I take the seeds out of the bell pepper. And the flavor that's in the seeds and a few pieces of bell pepper itself, such as this, flavor the cucumbers mixed in with vinegar to what's acceptable. So my diet is working. I call it the cucumber diet. I hate cucumbers, by the way. I hate cucumbers. I never liked cucumbers. I never ate so many cucumbers that I did in the last 6 weeks. Thanks, honey. So, I don't mean to eat on camera, but I have not eaten anything. What time did we have breakfast, honey? 8 o'clock. So that's 5 hours. That's the first thing I've eaten in 5 hours. All right. Yes, Blue Rose. More than generous, way over the top, not called for, not needed, not asked for, but definitely appreciated. Thank you, Moose. Okay. Now, a 4,000 peso salad challenge. I have no idea what that is. You cannot spend 4,000 pesos for a meal in the Philippines. I mean, I wouldn't know where that would. In Cebu, you could. Yeah. I met a girl in Cebu. In Bohol, you can't spend 4,000 pesos for a meal. I don't care where you go. 4 people could, but 2 people could not. But in Cebu, there's a restaurant, some Chinese restaurant, not so far from the Ayala Mall, about a kilometer away. The main courses start at about 2,500 pesos. That's $50 or an entire week's wages for a Filipino for one main course. And it's just a small piece of chicken with like a half a carrot next to it with some garnishing. You could spend. The girl took me to this restaurant. She told me meet her at this restaurant. We're getting off topic here. You could spend 20,000 pesos on dinner. When I looked at the menu, I left. She was on her way to the restaurant. I told her, "You are not the kind of girl I'm interested in." Well, if you can't afford 20,000 pesos for dinner, you're not the man I'm looking for. I wouldn't spend 20,000 pesos for dinner when I had $20,000 in my pocket. Chris Alexander, 3 ounces of wheat pasta 3 times a week. I don't know. All right, so does that I don't know about wheat pasta. We don't have any wheat pasta in the house. I could look into it, but I doubt that wheat pasta. I could give you my knowledge about pasta and wheat. I grew up on Wonder Bread. In the 70s, when wheat bread and wheat this and wheat that became popular, I continued to eat Wonder Bread or Tasty bread or Wonder Bread, and all the Italian bread I wanted. And wheat is this and wheat is that and wheat is this and wheat. I never gave one flying crap about wheat bread. And and then wheat cereal and then wheat this and wheat that. You know what? They came out with the truth about wheat and white flour. It's basically identical, and there is no difference in cancer rates or any other thing. Could be a whole change of the menu venue. If you eat wheat, you're going to eat more vegetables, but the wheat bread and wheat pasta itself has not been proven to be any more beneficial than starch. Even though white flour and sugar is pure poison to the human genome, I don't think wheat is any more beneficial because I don't eat wheat. And except for this infection, it's the first time I was sick since I was 25 years old. And this is a staph infection that I got from walking through sewage with a hole in a small welding burn in my foot. This isn't something I got internally. This is from walking through raw sewage from a major flood. I got this infection. Okay. And then I didn't take care of it. And that was my fault. because staph infection says you get a fever. I got a fever. And then after 3 weeks, it goes away. Well, I waited not 3 weeks, 2 weeks, and it didn't go away. It got worse. And then it got so bad I had to go to the hospital. But it said it's going to get better. It's going to get bad for 2 to 3 weeks, and then it's going to get better. Had I waited a month, they would have just took my foot off at the knee somewhere. So that's why I got sick. So let me go see there's new messages. Yeah, I know, Chris. Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna. Oh, you know what I should do? I should do the news. I get a kick out of reading the news. Let me get some water. Yeah, I'm done with this. Just put that over on the so I don't drop it. This I mean. Thank you. Oh, wait, Daisy, come on over here for a minute. We're gonna have some fun now. Talk about the
What?
Angugma bota. Now that's the word that Daisy taught me this week. Bota angugma. You type. Angugma bota. Bota angugma. It means love is blind. For the people out there that think that Daisy and I don't love each other, we love each other. Actually, our relationship gets better. Every couple of weeks, it jumps up a notch. Every once in a while, it goes down a notch too. But we just stop talking to each other for about 2 hours. If we have a really big argument, we won't talk to each other till the next morning. But in the morning, we say good morning. Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you say? Say good morning to me in the morning. Say good morning. Say what you say in the morning.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Maayong buntag.
Guapo.
Guapo.
Yeah. She says Maayong buntag guapo, which means good morning, handsome. And I tell Daisy she is bakaku and ka. She's a liar because I am maut. But then I tell Maayong buntag guapa, Daisy May, which means good morning, beautiful Daisy May. Even after our worst argument, that works. Okay. So I don't know what to tell you about your Filipino relationship, but Daisy she's by definition, they should have a picture of Daisy as a good woman in the encyclopedia. But she is a good woman. She cooks. I don't tell Daisy what to cook. She knows how to cook. If I'm cooking, I cook. We both do the dishes. We both clean the house. We both do the laundry. When I go shopping all day in the city, Daisy does not go to the city with me. She doesn't like the city. People ask me, where's my girlfriend or my asawa? They think I'm married. I just tell them she's home making videos. Daisy makes videos. I go buy the food. I come home. We put all the food away. We'll put all the food away in 12, 13, 10 minutes. And then we make dinner together. We do everything together. We work together. And Daisy likes that. Do you like working with me?
Yeah, I like it.
Why?
Huh?
Why? Why do you like working with me?
I just like, and then it's kind interesting, and you have, I will have more knowledge, and
We make things, yeah. We build things.
yeah.
Creating. We create stuff together. But so one of my subscribers said I Gary Bono, yeah, said I found the perfect woman with Daisy. Yeah, she works with me. I work with her. if I'm all stinky and sweaty at the end of the day, she is all stinky and sweaty at the end of the day. A lot less stinky and sweaty than me, but we're both filthy from dust and grime and dirt from the machine. Now, tomorrow we're going to put the filters that I rebuilt. Daisy and I rebuilt back into the machine. Daisy sets up my tools every day. She brings the extension cord. She brings the air hose. She brings the blower for the air hose. She puts oil in the automatic ratchet wrench. She puts oil in any tools that we're going to use that are air operated tools. Any day, on any given day, she knows how to put the oil in 1 drop or 2 drops of oil in the tool. She'll take the proper hammer. She'll ask me which hammer I want. She'll ask me if I want the crowbar. She'll ask me if we need the tape measure. If I tell her we need the tape measure, give me the green one, the orange one, or the white one. She hands me. She just has it all ready. What's not to like? I mean, we could find faults with each other. Believe me, I have faults, but I have a lot of faults. But Daisy doesn't look at my faults as being a negative thing. She's not critical about my faults, and I'm not so critical about her faults. Daisy is a wonderful girl, all in all. So I'm not going to say anything different, and nobody else is going to say anything different either. You could say that people think Daisy is my slave. Oh, yeah. A slave represents someone that doesn't get um, somehow compensated for their time. Okay. Daisy wants to go to her parents. She goes for a month with however much money she needs to survive and help the family out for a month. And if she asks for any dress, whatever it is, she's not a slave. And we eat more money in food, in our food costs, than most people of a family of 6 or 7. We buy fresh peppers at 150 pesos sometimes per kilo. We don't eat potatoes. We don't eat fish. We're not much into fish. I don't like fish because probably it could come from Japan. We don't eat crabs or clams or anything like that, but we eat the occasional. Um, we'll eat the occasional pork. We enjoy pork liver. Okay, a lot of people that are vegetarians get sick over that, and that's life. We have never bought a steak, so we eat good food though. We eat sayote, we eat bell peppers mixed in with salt. We eat a lot of garlic. So Daisy doesn't ask for much, but we eat good. We have a air con. We have a roof that does not leak. We have windows that don't leak. We have a door that no longer leaks. I fixed last week. We have everything we need. Daisy, I look at Daisy sometimes when she's sleeping. I'm going, this girl is so easy to please. Okay, she could have a lot more if she asked for it. She just doesn't. If she asks for too much, then she wouldn't be my girlfriend. But she could ask for a whole lot more before we got to the level of too much. Okay? Like, for instance, last 2 weeks ago, she started helping the neighbor with the baby, right? Well, she wants a baby. Now, that's something. You want a baby? Go ahead, tell him. Tell him what you said to your girlfriend the other night, Chris. Yeah, soon. All of a sudden, I heard parts of the conversation. Yeah, soon. And I'm going, that has to do with the baby. And she just looks up and smiles. Yeah. She wants a baby. She's going to get a baby next year. Okay? She told me she wants one. She wanted to go on vacation, and she got the vacation right away. The baby, we need a bigger place to put a baby. Otherwise, she'd have had a baby already. I was reading. There's a book. It's a free book, How to Have a Baby. I read the whole book twice. I know how to do that now. I could even do a video on something like that. You have to first. You have to start. You need a woman, a good, and then you need a man, and then they call it cohabitate. and then co-capitulate, okay? And then there's a baby. I read the book, and I saw that and the book had pictures, so I understand what to do when it appears or pops up, so to speak. We're good with that. But Daisy could be one of those demanding women, is where I'm going with this with. I want to have a baby right away. Well, she did want to have a baby 2 weeks after I met her. It didn't happen. I said, better to go back to Mindanao and, you know, find somebody to have a baby with. So she understood that. Took a few conversations with other people that spoke the language, remember? So she remembers. So now we understand. In America, we wait 2 or 3 years to have our first baby with a woman. So we're together 2.5 years. So it's going to happen soon. I'm sure that Daisy is a good woman now. I'm sure I can trust Daisy. So that's important. That there's a time period to. Now some people say, well, wait till you get married. Well, and nobody said anything about getting married and changing things that much. Okay, Daisy and I can have a business together. The business could be in a partnership or under Daisy's name. Nothing's going to change between me and Daisy. Okay, I trust Daisy, and she trusts me. She trusts me with her life under the machine. She trusts me when I tell her to hold something and I'm smashing it with an axe. She trusts me when I'm drilling around her fingers, and I trust her. So, Daisy is a good woman. Thank you, sweetheart. She's a good woman. Thank you. So, do you want to say anything? You want to tell them that why you love me on both? Yeah, go ahead. She loves me because I am tambok, which means fat. Now, there is a philosophy that Filipino women love fat men because they don't have to worry about the fat man going out and being a lady killer, to go out and have many different dates with women. But I have a wonderful personality. I am just basically a chick magnet. And I'm guapo, too. Guapo. If I wanted to meet, I have never wanted to meet a woman after I met Daisy. But if I wanted to, before I met Daisy, I could. I'm not shy. So let me go back to the comments, and then we're going to wrap this up in a few minutes because, oh my goodness, it's getting late. It's almost 3 o'clock. I thought it was 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock. 1:27.
Is that the right time? Yeah, that's the right time. Oh no! Oh, it is 1 o'clock. I was reading the 252, 2 hours and 52 minutes on the live stream. I'm going. It's almost 3 o'clock. It's 1:27. That's how much I pay attention to these numbers. Angugma Bota, love is blind. That's our motto. Chris Alexander, like it, I like it, I like this. Bob Seger, she is always right. Now that's a bunch of nonsense. Don't get involved with that. The woman is always right nonsense. They'll run all over you. You need to have control at all times. Thank you, Warren. Yeah, not a lot of people comment on a religion. The comment yesterday was totally off the chart. What was the comment? I'm thinking. It was something about Daisy being a bar girl, and that her and I deserve each other, and I deserve to die. And the way I'm going to die is Daisy is going to give me AIDS from all the men that she slept with in the past. Okay, and none of that is true. But that's the kind of comment that I get, and only on YouTube though, not in real life. Don't even talk to me about that in real life. Okay, do it. YouTube, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, the rhythm method works just fine. Yes, Moose. Yeah, no, Daisy she's a good woman. I often think when when I think the most, Moose, is when I go late at night. Daisy goes to sleep. She sleeps a lot. Come here, honey. How many hours do you sleep a night? Daisy can sleep 10 hours at night and take a 2 hour nap in the afternoon. Me, I sleep six hours. I go to bed at midnight and I'm up at 6:30, but I get up in the middle of the night for to have a glass of water or to go to the bathroom. And I stay up for about an hour in the middle of the night. So I sleep between 5.5 and 7 hours a night. And what you see happening here with this, that people ask me if I have ADHD. No, I don't. I'm just a hyper person. And I'm like this in real life when I'm working too. I run or I walk fast or I swing the hammer like I mean to swing the hammer. I'm not swinging the hammer because I have to swing the hammer. Okay. So yeah, this is me. So in real life, Moose says he's been watching our videos and I seem happy. I'm very happy. I actually, you know, I look at I look at life in America and I say, I'm glad I left. People always telling me I did the right thing. It doesn't matter that Trump is the president. What is happening to America is just sickening. Okay. And if Trump wants to win, I hope I get this in before if the live stream gets cut short. If Trump wants to win in 2020, if he wants to be around in 2020, here's what Trump needs to do. Take my advice, Donald. We grew up less than, I grew up in Howard Beach and you grew up on Utopia Parkway. That's not quite 3 miles from my house. We grew up 3 miles away from each other. We both grew up with the same attitude. We both grew up in construction. If you want to win, what you need to do is, I don't care about your tweets, but what you need to do, what Donald Trump needs to do is figure out a way to get an ICE agent or 2 ICE agents or 10 ICE agents in every single voting booth during the midterm elections. 1 or 2 or 3 or 10 or 20 ICE agents checking identification. And then every single voter needs to be registered. And then if there's double, with at least the voter registration card, whether they're immigrants or illegal immigrants, whether they're American citizens, whether they're young or old, whether they were from this country, that country, it all needs to be documented. So if they go to another state or another voting booth down the block or a couple of miles away, they can't vote twice. You need to get those ICE agents in the voting booths, and you need to do that. And if you don't do that, and the Democrats, who are no better or worse than the Republicans, by the way, the end goal is the same. They're all criminals, Republicans and Democrats. Don't mislead me now. Donald Trump, if he loses the presidency, he doesn't care either way. If he wins the presidency, he doesn't care either way. He got a fun ride out of it. But the Democrats and the Republicans, they are all corrupt and crooked. And one day, when I'm done in New York City, and I'm done having to go back to New York City, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to start Story Time by Michael Fazio. And I'm going to tell you stories about stuff that happened in the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, and the early 2000s. Okay? I'm going to tell you stories about stuff that happened. All of these people by that time will be dead or close to dead or in prison where I don't have to necessarily watch my back so much. But I'm going to start telling you story time with the Foz, okay, about how things really happened back in New York City, not this nonsense you see in the movies. There was a guy the other day I used to play hide and go seek with in his backyard, lived about 6 blocks from me, okay? The highest paid consigliere for the mafia in the history of all-time world records. Okay, him and I used to play tag together as children. I went to school with his sister for kindergarten through 8th grade, and then we went to catechism together. We made our communion together. These were people I grew up with. And the stories you see about these people in the papers are just fabricated stories. I'll tell you some real stories without mentioning actual dates, names, and events, because that would probably be not beneficial to me. But I'll tell you stories and use fictitious names. You figure out who they were. Be simple enough. You people have to understand all of these politicians are 100% corrupt. That's why they let Obama's agenda go unscathed, untreated, unfettered. Obama was destroying the country, and every newspaper man, every politician, every judge, every lawyer, every single person that mattered that could go against him was paid off in straight up and down hard cash. Anybody that doesn't believe that is a fool. Obama printed $17 billion of straight up and down $50 and $100 bills. My friend Larry, who worked for Pitney Bowes, kept the machines running 24/7 for 3 weeks. They printed $17 billion. Stopped the printing presses and that money disappeared. That's why the country is corrupt. When they lost $2 trillion from the Pentagon, they paid off the people that were looking for the money. I mean, geez, it doesn't take a genius to figure this out. Michael Fazio would have been Obama's #1 subscriber. Michael Fazio would have made videos about Obama if Obama was telling the truth, but he wasn't. So Michael Fazio is the most hated Obama video maker on YouTube by Google and Google AdSense and by YouTube. I can't tell you how many videos they age restricted that are now on Patreon. I would have done anything for Obama if he was a good man, but he's not. He never was. Okay? I did the research on Obama before he became president, and all those stories that you hear are true. I won't tell you which stories because YouTube will further destroy my ability to earn money. Okay, they're already doing it to such a degree. Yeah, let's say we're going to use 50 cents. I don't make enough money for a cup of coffee and a donut on YouTube a day. I do not make enough money for a cup of coffee and a donut in Dunkin' Donuts on YouTube. And I'll tell you what a cup of coffee and donut costs. A cup of coffee is 50 pesos. That's $1. And a donut is 50 pesos. That's $2. Some days I don't make that much money. 3 days this week, I didn't make enough money for a coffee and a donut. 3 days. 3 days this week, I did make enough money to buy a cup of Dunkin' Donuts coffee at $1. $1 and $1. $1 for the coffee, $1 for the donut. If you think I do YouTube, it costs me more to run the computer and the aircon and the internet service a month than I make on YouTube. That's what it costs me. 3 months ago, I made 60. Oh, I can't say that. I made less than $70 in a month with 2,400 public videos, with videos that used to make $55 a month. 5 videos made $125+ a month. 5 main videos for 3 years earned $125+ a month. Those same 5 videos today get the same amount of views or more, and per month, one video that used to earn me $55 a month, the Filipina Cupid video, the Filipina Cupid 10 biggest scams, one of my main videos. It's got 6, 7, 800,000 views. I don't know. That video earned me $55 a month for 3 years. Steady $55 a month. Why? Because the Google algorithms control everything. Google decided that this video is going to make me $55 a month. That video makes me Now listen very carefully, because 17 is a big number. 17 cents a month. That video makes me with more views this month than it did 3 years ago when it made $55 a month. 3 months ago, that video made me 17 cents in 1 month. It went from $55 down to about $3, down to 17 cents, 19 cents, 16 cents, averaged out to 17 cents for 2 or 3 months. Now, the video that used to make me $55 a month, Filipino Cuban 10 biggest scams, now earned me $1.63. I could look it up. So that I can't look it up. I can't give you a real number. I could, but that you'd have to be a Patreon member. And I have these videos up on my Patreon membership because it's private. So don't misjudge why I do things. Where I said I would be Obama's best friend, you can't buy me. See, I can't be bought. Okay, so Obama was, yeah, and all of that and more to America, and his whole intention was to destroy America. There's no other agenda than that, to destroy America. I wrote that in my book. I said it in my videos. Now, Trump appears to want America to be built up, but he still uses that Illuminati hand sign on his lap, on his groin, on the table, like this on the table. Still uses it in every venue that he does. Every venue, every time he meets a world leader, you're going to see this sign, or you're going to see the sign with his hands on the table like this. Every public venue, he portrays the Illuminati hand sign. That is no accident. So you can rest assured, after Mr. Trump makes America great again, that it's a sham. When I got onto this by being glad that I moved to the Philippines, you people are not paying attention. You people are not paying attention. The terrorist compound where they were training children to shoot other American citizens 2 weeks ago. Where is that? Where is the David Slob boy? Where are all the liberals making statements about that? Why don't I make a statement about it? Because they'll shut my channel down if I did a real documentary on that stuff. Don't you get it? I'm trying to enjoy myself, and I do. I enjoy the subscriber base. I enjoy the videos. I enjoy talking to people. I enjoy meeting people. I enjoy my life here in the Philippines. I'm glad I moved out of America. I could not take America. And I got to tell you something. If I don't like something, one way or another, something has to change. I didn't like America so much, I said, move to a third world country. It's got to be better than living in America. I worked to pay insurances and taxes in America. My ocean racer insurance was $700 a year in 2001. $700 a year for an ocean racer to have parked behind my house on davits. Chump change. I used to earn that in a day. Sometimes I'd earn that in the morning. Doing with a backhoe service, I owned a heavy equipment company. That's chump change. And 3 years later, we had Hurricane Katrina, and all of the boats and docks and houses were washed out on the bay side of Key Largo. My insurance went to $17,000 for a boat I paid $700 for 4 years ago. It went from $700 to $1,100 to $1,700 to $2,200. And after Hurricane Katrina, $17,000. And I had a mortgage on the boat. So I was paying like $300 a month for the mortgage on the boat. And the bank said, we owe $17,000 because we hold your mortgage. You have to buy insurance. The insurance went to seven. No, there's no justification from going to $2,200 to $17,000 for insurance. I said, well, what do I got to do not to? Well, you got to sell the boat or pay off the boat. So I went to the bank and I paid it off. The mortgage that I had on the boat was less money than the insurance money. I just took out a mortgage to build up my credit. I didn't take out a mortgage because I needed the money to buy the boat. For the gas for the boat, you pull up to the fuel dock, it was $500 to put gas in the boat. $500. And that lasted at 60 gallons an hour. It lasted 2 hours. Well, if you were running the boat like it should be run, running it like a man, not sissy boying it around on the, like you're dilly-dallying around with your mother in the back of the boat, running it like a man at 58 knots, took 60 gallons an hour plus, but it was fun. I think everybody should own at least one. It was an SR 311 formula with naturally aspirated 454s, twin, 4-barrel, 500 Harleys. 500, like 500, the Harley 500s, 2 of those, okay? So it had 2 Harley 500s as for each motor. Naturally aspirated 365 horse, 730 horse, 2 engines. But it was fun. It was a lot of fun. Can't tell you how much fun. I miss some things more than others. I miss that boat. I don't miss working on those motors. Every 6 months, every year and a half, I had to rebuild the motors. That's all up on YouTube, me rebuilding the motors. Sometimes taking them down to needle bearing, sometimes just rebuilding the heads. That was a lot of work. That was fun, though. A lot of fun. Chris Alexander, no, I'm not talking about marriage, dude. What are you not listening? Why would you have to be? Oh, okay, you're against that too. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure with this marriage thing. I'm too young for marriage. I've never been married. I've never cheated on Daisy. I'm sure Daisy's never cheated on me. I don't even think about it. Okay, Daisy's a good woman. I have no reason to do. And what does marriage do? Gives you a false sense of security, in my opinion. Ah, okay, Moose Cage. I'm really sorry. I didn't see that comment. I didn't see it. I have to be this close. If you're still here, thank you, Moose. I'll send you a message in Patreon. Okay, honey, are you ready to eat? Did you eat already? No. All right, ladies and gentlemen, come on over here, say goodbye for now. We're going to go. Daisy, I love you, Daisy. Not always, though, but most of the time, yeah? I love this girl. She is just such a. You have to say goodbye. Yeah, I'm always talking. What? Go ahead, say sabat.
Sabat.
What does sabat mean?
Noisy.
Noisy. I'm noisy, she says. Sabat. Sabat. Yeah. And gugma bota. Ang gugma bota.
Yeah.
Bota ang gugma. Love is blind. What a beautiful girl I'm with. Okay, say goodbye.
Bye-bye. Thanks for watching.
This is Rabbi Chewbacca and
This is May
in the Philippines, baby. Warren H. Bye-bye, Warren H. Moose K. Okay, Moose, I'm glad I didn't see your comment. I didn't neglect it. If I am this far away from the screen, it's a blur. If I'm this far away, I can see it. Another thing you can't buy is in the Philippines is glasses. Can't buy a good set of glasses here in Bohol. Wes Sleeman. I saw a green line 33-foot hybrid boat. Really cool, but very expensive. Not the boat, Wes. It's the gas and the maintenance on the engine. Every 2 years, if you run that boat, unless you have fresh water in it, you're going to rebuild those engines. If you run that boat hard, you're going to get 1,000 hours out of those motors. At the very best, you're going to get 1,000 hours out of those motors running it like it's a baby. Baby it. You run it hard, you're going to get 200 hours out of those motors, and they cost 30,000 a piece to rebuild. So I used to rebuild them myself. Okay, I'm going to say goodnight, especially to Moose. Thank you again. I'll say hello in Patreon. Any of you members that are listening to here, I sent out a general notice in Patreon. If you want me to call you, just leave a message with your phone number in Patreon or my email address, and I'll give you a phone call. Today, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday night. Our night or your day, doesn't matter. We're going to be around in the morning for 3 hours and at night for the whole night. I'm Pink Permy. Moose, thank you. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that. God bless and keep the faith because you guys are going to need it. Okay, you're welcome. I'll be happy to. It was a three-hour phone call. I'll be happy to call you on your phone anytime. Any member of my Patreon account, anytime wants to ask me any question, I'm happy to do so. Thanks again, everybody. Good night. Say goodbye, Daisy. Come on over here and give me a big goodbye. Ah, Daisy can't say goodbye. She's chopping vegetables, my friends. We are preparing lunch. I'm being Permy, which means take care always.